Hunting?
Oh, I've not seen that in a while.
That
Actually,
is
I don't
a
think I
very
ever
good
finished
movie.
it.
That's
Yeah,
a
I love the
great
first
movie.
half.
How do you like those apples? Can't say it. Love the line. Totally shows
Do you
them
need
off.
love?
Hello, Chaosic! Welcome. Good to see all of you popping in the chat. We're running just a bit behind tonight, all due to the fault of the DM, not his amazing players. But we'll be kicking off live in just a moment. It is your first, isn't it?
First?
First.
Oh! Cowsick! It is your first. You guys know those moments where you feel like you have a splinter in your thumb or in your finger and you
Just cut it off.
That's
honestly,
actually fun. I literally just had a splinter emergency just before I came down because my son got a splinter and I had to get it out of his finger.
Wait, but I want to... Hello, Amanda, lovely. Wait, but Josh, I want to know where you... Because I think where you were going, my answer was no. Have I ever felt like I had a splinter and I didn't?
Yeah.
No.
Like I just got
Or there's times where you have a splinter and you take it out and it still feels like...
Yes, now that I've had.
No, I feel like I've got a splinter.
Was it a phantom splinter?
Are there any turtles around you?
Yes.
Oh,
The turtle thing doesn't count unless it's a full moon, though, Rory.
I don't know about that, but I did find out a really interesting fact.
What?
I always thought that it was the fingernails, but Josh, do you know the last part of your body that dies?
Your teeth, right?
No, it's your pupils, because they dilate.
Oh, that's a great one. Well done,
That is
Rory.
really good.
My daughter will love that. I'm going to go upstairs and tell my 11-year-old. She will die for that. I'll be right back.
That's incredible. Don't.
It
kill
has
your
worked in
11-year-old.
so many situations because it sounds like a legitimate conversation.
Yeah, dang it. Dang, that's so good. My favorite that I heard recently was I'm selling my DeLorean. It's low cost. I only drive it from time to time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, I like it, but
the I one was definitely better.
I missed it. I was sorry. I was dealing with something. You'll have to...
I'm sorry, there's no repeating. We can't
That's
go back
fine.
from this. I think
Vivi, what
Yeah.
part of your body dies last?
Are you talking about real life? Because I can
Yeah.
tell you.
Like, what part of your
Go
body
for
dies?
Like the last thing to go?
Yeah, what part dies last?
I don't know if you want to go into like this morbid conversation.
It's a
Because I-
joke, Viri. It's a joke.
Forget. Okay, yeah, that's a different thing.
She
Because
does work in hospice.
I work.
so-
Yeah, I work
You
in
could say your
palliative care,
teeth
so
or your hair or your
my
nails.
job is to deal with is like literally surrounded by death. So do you actually want to know, or you're just? It's a joke. Okay, go ahead. I don't know.
This is why I don't repeat jokes. Except this time it's not me messing it up.
It's me messing it up because you can't tell me a joke about.
Hey, Vivi, it's your pupils. Because they dilate.
Oh, okay, got it.
It's a dad joke.
Hey, Terry, did I tell you that I found out the other week there are more planes in the sea than there are submarines in the sky?
That's a lie.
That's plain to see, isn't it?
Yes, sigh.
Left side. Maybe.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a bunch of comedians tonight. I hope you came out for the comedy because you won't get any, but you came out for it, so that's nice of you.
Oh my gosh, I want to see Taldar on a stage having to do stand-up comedy.
Ooh.
It would be.
Every punchline.
It would
Every
just be a
punchline
punch.
is walk.
I'm sorry, it'd be like Gallagher. Now I understand you might be a bit young there, Josh.
Smash.
Yeah, you smash not
Okay.
pumpkins. Wow, watermelons. That's a different
Watermelons,
band. Smashing Pumpkins.
Mm.
That's from
Who
the
knows?
40s, right?
I want to stab you in the face.
It's around the same time that like Jazz Swing first came out, wasn't it?
I want to stab you in the face twice.
You know, Terry, soon you will have that opportunity in May at
Yeah.
Blue Box Con. So
Two
remember,
friends in a
sign up.
room. They might
Just
kill
say
one
it.
another.
Oh my
Save that energy up for May, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Really build that up. Build that blue box.
Anyway,
Come on, give me the chip. Give me the
not
chip.
yet. I'm organizing my dice, Josh. You're gonna
Come on.
It says, guy walks into a bar and orders fruit punch. Bartender says, pal, if you want a punch, you'll have to stand in line. The guy looks around, but there is no punch line.
I get it.
Terrible.
Like the numbers?
Like, I laughed deep on the inside.
Deep on the inside.
I laughed deep inside of Terry
Boo.
as well.
I'm sorry. My heart has gone black, so.
Why has your heart gone black?
That should have been our name. We should have made like a punk pop name for our group. Heart
Like,
Gone Black.
Like the death saves or something like that.
Yeah, like Death Saves or Heaven's Denial. My Chemical
We'd already have a shirt if it was
Romance.
death saves.
Chemical romance.
I am increasingly nervous when I leave this chat alone with Josh on.
You
It
should
just-
be.
It just,
You
yeah,
should
it,
be.
it just feels like anything could be happening
Should
while I'm
you?
out of the room.
I mean, basically, that is
Oh,
accurate.
yeah, you know it.
All right. Thank you everyone for joining. We got 23 folks on, just getting started here. Thank you everyone for jumping in. Thank you for the resub, Terry. We appreciate that so much. Chaosic, you were first, my friend. And yes, Manda, everyone is lovely. Good to see. Love the healer in, particularly lovely. And we've got Thomas. Thomas, good to see you. You killed it this weekend. And I have not listened to your Spotify playlist yet for Alcott, but I will. Why'd the clumsy wizard take a level in rogue? Because he knew wizards can't trip, but thieves can't. Oh, the dad jokes abound. I love it.
I love it.
Come on. Hey, Jerry, what are you apologizing for? Boo. Oh, you smell a player kill. Yeah, maybe. All right. Well, I mean, with a couple of goblins left, that would be pretty tough. I mean, there have been times where that could be a thing, but all right.
I mean, they can always get lucky.
They can always get lucky. All right, here we go. And let's click over. We're going to go live with video. Are you ready? In 3, 2, and 1. All right, welcome to Blue Box. And it is episode 16 and 72 of Greyhawk Awakening. Greyhawk Awakening Book 1 was all on the west side of the continent of the Flasks in Greyhawk. And then Book 2 now has all been on the east side, began in the horrible city of Relastra, governed by Drax the Invulnerable, in the fractured Great Kingdom. And now these players all cursed by a glyph. Not all, sorry, yes.
No,
Some have died.
Some are cursed.
Some died and escaped it. Some were clever. Yes, Rory, that's you, and escaped it. But a couple others have these glyphs on their hands, which are they're sort of moving down as the days go by. We're on day 5 since you have had that glyph placed on you, and we'll talk about the combat that we're in the middle of. We're going to go sponsors at the break. Just to jump right into the gaming session. So let's do player intros, what happened last time, and then we'll start right back with the combat. And yes, exactly. All right, so go ahead. Rory, tell us about an Aho.
Well, you see, I'm all of 2'11", and I'm very good at distracting things. It's kind of the extent of it right now, is I'm good at distracting things, skeletons and other stuff. I have dark hair, or shoulder length. Might be able to see some slight tattoos. I wear a cloak and leather armor, and lately been talking to Rasmus, and he says some weird things. And we'll see where that goes, because that was kind of weird. I don't know who this thing is that he talked about.
All right, well done. Rizia.
Hang on, sorry. I was trying to unmute myself, but then I was clicking every button but the unmute button.
No worries.
Not that button. the other button.
Hello, my name is Vivi. I play Rizia. She is a level 3 barbarian. Sorry to just double check. She's currently cursed with this said glyph that John has talked about. The only thing that she has that bonds her and Taldar, and she will keep it.
That's not the only thing that she has that bonds her and Taldar.
No, I'm just saying right now. Like,
Yeah.
she's the only one that also has the glyph
Yes.
with Taldar. So
But you're
we
both
have an issue.
barbarians, right? And you've kind of admired Taldar's barbarian swag.
Yes, for sure. In a brotherly
Yeah,
way,
sure.
not in the other.
Not
sense.
not in an Alcott Irda way.
No,
All right.
no. But yes,
uh,
she's currently kicking some gobbo butt and looking over for some not a knowing. That's all.
Yeah, you did some crunchy last time, no doubt. All right.
Crunchy last.
All right, let's go to Terry. Tell us about Taldar.
Taldar Greatbane, human barbarian of the level 3, who knows how to handle himself upon a horse. He carries with him a great axe, and he uses his Knot of Knowing when necessary to help inspire his comrades. Also, Taldar walks.
I love the Knot of Knowing. That is actually probably going to be an artifact on Blue Box. All right, let's go to you. Let me see. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Josh.
Hi guys, I'm Josh of NPC Voices. I play the amazing, good-looking, and roguish?
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 Roguish and
I don't
rugged?
know what I was trying to go.
Rugged,
But
rugged and
there we
roguish.
go, rugged way. I am an inquisitor of the second level human. Honestly, just from the outer edges of the kingdom of Nyrond, and existing, surviving, and trying to be his best person and kill some gabadabos.
All right, yes, I like the rugged roguish. That's a great way to put it. And then, last but not least, the quirky druid, who will be a topic of conversation on tomorrow night's Lore Masters Arcanum as we talk about the neutral nurturers, druids, Alora.
Yes, hello, I'm Alora. I am a druid of the 3rd level. I am half-elf. I am extremely confusing to most of the people that
That's so
surround
true.
me. And I like it that way. And it keeps people on their toes. And it amuses me.
And then what happened last time?
So last time we started off, the main part of the party was returning from the Giant's Cave, with Rizia having been in the home of the farmer and his wife overnight to be healed. And she apparently got to enjoy the melodic sounds of all night, which she, complained about immediately upon the return of the party to the house. Actually, upon waking, that is the first thing she said to Taldar after he asked her how she was doing, and he was very confused by that being her first set of words after waking up. But yes, she had been healed to the best of the farmer's wife, her capabilities, and though that was not fully healed, she still has a leg that she can mostly walk on, though it is a bit weak still, which means some decrements to her dexterity for the time being until it heals the rest of the way. But yes, so the party began to set off after having a bit of a discussion with the farmer and his wife, learning pretty quickly that they had been adventurers in their past, and due to some very unfortunate circumstances lost their child in the final adventure that they had decided to take on, and that was the end of their adventuring. And from that point, they actually kept mentioning the giant, which Anaho caught on to very quickly and asked why they did not give the party that information up front, because that might have been helpful to the party, which they basically greatly
Dissembled.
showed and the party, at least Anaho and Alora, expressed a bit of
As they should have. Well played. Yep.
For them not sharing that information. But yes, so the party was allowed to take the horses that they needed from the farmer in payment for them completing the quest that they had said that they would complete.
And to be clear, so the quest was for the healing. There was a separate price for the horses.
Right. But nonetheless, the party did manage to obtain the horses that they needed. And Taldar, of course, took the war horse, the mightiest of all the horses, in the stables. Naho was very uncertain about riding a horse because he had never ridden one before, and he wasn't quite sure what that meant. At which point, Allura offered to talk to one of the horses for him to make him feel a little more comfortable if he needed it. But yes, so Arizia got the second largest horse in the stable. Allura found one that was to her liking. She is also the only one riding without a saddle. And the rest, Rasmus also found himself a horse, and then they, I believe, took another horse along with them, but Anaho is currently riding with Rasmus as of before the combat that ensued. But yeah, so everyone, we set off on horseback, and we're heading northward until such time as we were beset upon by a bunch of goblins who were... they were waiting at this lovely little choke point. And unfortunately, this would have probably been noticed by somebody if Allura hadn't rolled a natural 1 on her perception check and distracted the party. Because she was like, oh, I hear something that way, and the danger was that way. And so, yeah, we found ourselves very quickly fighting a bunch of goblins, including a mage or magic-using goblin. There are currently 3 still standing, one of which is that magic user. At the end of last session, Rizia had the final blow at the end of the session with a massive crit, where she destroyed a goblin in 300 style, booped him off the edge of the cliff.
It was glorious.
Which was not entirely painless for her either, because she kicked him with her injured leg. So yes, that is where we ended last time.
Well, so well done. And so, yeah, the chat jumped in a bit on that necklace. But, yeah, as always, Evelyn, thank you so much. So that was the necklace of protection. Now, I want to, before we jump into the action, we're showing some of the fan art here. We have several great fan art participants we've had. Of course, Pat draws. We have Sieglund, Jeff, who does great fan art as well. And then we have Mark Views. Lizzie does great fan art that is sort of author-based fan art, and many others. We appreciate all the contributions to the community. Thank you so much. With the necklace, I never want to chasten my players, but as a DM, you know, a lot of "Hello, Tracy," dun 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 dun. I like to make sure that I'm communicating to you when maybe the DM's giving some hints. So I'm going to kill the background music or just lighten it a bit. There were some things that happened there, and I know we've talked about these before. The timing, the urgency, as the glyphs reduce. I fully respect the fact that the players sometimes don't loot, but there was something that happened inside that house when the farmer's wife did the healing, and there was a hobgoblin head above the bed, which I believe Taldar asked about, and the farmer said something. Do you remember what he said?
The
hobgoblin had... The hobgoblin,
that's all I remember.
The hobgoblin struck his wife in the stomach.
And they were with child.
Yeah, exactly. It were long time past. They had been adventurers, but he had said she had been a healer and had that, and he said he had quote unquote the spark,
right?
And he knew exactly what that necklace was. In a party that has no mage, and you have other items unidentified, and I'm like, this is not a chastening. I'm like, it's a way to just like talk through the past sessions. He's a the spark was he was a sorcerer, right? So he was not a mage. He did not like measure spells. They were not that good, but he could at least do basic identify. There are 1 or 2 other items in the party that could have been exposed to him. And I'm sorry, I probably shouldn't have said this because it does feel like I'm chasing, but I'm not. I'm really trying to share with this party and with players and DMs how you can be not overtly like, this person might be able to identify your item. How do you like put that in the game? And you guys tell me, was it too obtuse? Was it too vague?
No, what it is we are under a deadline, and the characters don't have time for that stuff. I mean, we've been given, or at least two of us have the possibility of dying. And so at least I know my character's not thinking about sitting there checking to see what stuff is. They just want to go, do, and hopefully be done with.
All right. And honestly, sorry. So no, let's. I'm sorry if our viewers are on and you're like, well, hey, get to the game. But this is the game. This is part of the game. This is a really, really good conversation. So go ahead, Josh.
No, I was just going to say, I was like, Taldar doesn't even wait for other party members. You think he'll wait for magic to be identified? Like,
especially magic.
Yeah, same with Rizia. She doesn't really care about her magic stuff. I think that's just based on her character. She did see some potions and stuff like that, and she's just left behind. She did point them out to Anaho before, just saying, like, I know you kind of like this stuff, but so there it is. But she just walked away from it. And the only thing she had was that necklace, which she wanted. And she was like, I don't care, go take it. It obviously didn't protect me because my leg is all messed up.
No, exactly.
This is, and she just kind of tossed it. So that's kind of the reason why she didn't really care. And mind you, she didn't really have anything else to identify either.
Nor should she have. And so this is not directed toward Taldar or Rizia, but Elora kind of, she's the nature magician. She's the druid. But we have Rasmus and we have Anaho, and Anaho has one critical item that could have been identified and did not. So it was not really aimed at Rizia or Taldar.
I feel the heat coming my way.
No, please don't. No, this is all about fun and learning. It's
already in.
So, like, honestly, like, if it would have taken yeah. So go ahead.
Yeah, and Taldar's not going to wait for Anaho either.
No, but Taldar can move on. Like that doesn't mean Anaho has to like follow Taldar like a puppy dog, right?
No, I agree.
Right. So the party can all make their own. Yeah, exactly.
I was gonna say, I gotta follow my dad.
Yeah.
Only right.
Now, but Anaho said it with his response to the wife too. Like, hey, you, like, why didn't you tell us? Like, you could have told us. We could have been better. So, I mean, he's done looting. He's found items. He found the ring, whatever it does. But
right.
Yeah. As a
it's
player,
Anaho's parents.
I also overlooked the fact he had the spark. Beyond the fact he had the spark, but even Anaho was like, "You guys kind of like shafted us. You could have told us what we're walking into."
Wow. So you felt shafted by these two who healed Rizia and gave you 6 horses in exchange for a necklace, but it still felt like, and I'm not
they
like
healed our friend and sent us to our potential death by not giving us critical information.
And I don't mean shafted like we were screwed. Like this was part of the conversation last week between the characters was, yeah, you held up your end of the deal and so did we.
And they.
But it's like you had to hide it and like, that doesn't sit well with Anaho.
No, I like that. That's fair. That's very fair. But would he not still then? I think there's a merchandising opportunity for Anaho, and we're going to move on and get to the game. But then, even if they failed, but he has a ring or other items in the party not on Taldar or Rizia that could be identified, because clearly he knew what that necklace was. That might be an opportunity for you to extract more value from them. So
sure.
it's a debate that could rage for a bit. But
we know where they are now. We can go back.
No, also, could there be a whole mistrust thing there now too? Because
Yes.
they did send us without, or not us, minus me, send them without a piece of crucial information. And then now, so you're asking them to therefore identify something, so you don't know if they're going to tell you the truth or not, because there's no trust there also as well.
I love that. So I'm sorry, this has turned into an LMA. We're going to stop this in a minute, but we're not too far behind here. I love that question. That's fantastic. But remember, Rizia would not feel that way. Rizia had the
No, that's why I walked away.
yeah, Rizia had the ministrations of that wife, and she poured all kinds of healing energy into you. You would have lost that leg. You still have a dex negative that's going to apply for a while, as we mentioned, but
Yes.
like you were totally touched, loved, and healed by this woman. Yes, you could be suspect of them, and I'm not asking for any. You could tell me, well, my PC has an intelligence of 7 and would not have made this connection. So that's a fine reason to make that statement. But if the farmer knew enough to recognize the necklace and request it, and they had emblems of their former adventuring time, those were the hints as a DM. Now, again, I'm not saying you did anything wrong. I'm only bringing this up so that in the future you might see some things that I'll do as a DM that are, giving you hints, but I will never hit you over the head with. You get the sense this guy might be able to identify your items, or could get you something else to get you on your way. It's a way of doing it. Thank you so much. Oh, it's for Rizia's penalty to Dex. All right, so every 200 now is a plus 1. Which means with 1,000, you have a plus 5 that you can use. If you convert that, it can be an advantage. So you can use a plus 5 to any attack roll or any saving throw, or you can use that to be an advantage on any roll. It's your choice. All right. I didn't mean to spend that much time on the way, but it was fun. So thank you guys, and here we go. Party. You see, there are still 3 goblins. There is one that stands, the mage, in front of Rasmus. There is one, an archer, who is hastily dropping his bow in front of Rizia. And there is a third in front of the charging Taldar. And Taldar, you see this third one, he is trembling. Not the first time I've said something like there's a bit of urine that dribbles down his leg. Like seeing Taldar charge at this tiny 3-foot goblin, he is utterly frightened and trembling deeply. And with that, we begin tonight. Where were we with advantage or with initiative?
I think we were rolling.
I think
Evelyn had to roll.
I think the DM had initiative. No?
I thought some people hadn't gone yet, but I could be wrong.
I think I went and did that and finished my crit, and I think that's where you stopped, right?
Yeah,
I think it was just
I think
me.
so as well.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So you see, there is the body here on the ground. This is the one that you critted and then kicked off the cliff. That was a gorgeous and glorious combat move. Well done, Rizia. The one standing before you, while there is no puddle of urine beneath his feet, he is clearly intimidated by you. And let's go ahead and start off with initiative again, since we are not clear on this, and it's okay. DM has... Well, you love it when that happens. A big fat... You see that? No, you can't see. It's a 1. Big fat... Golly, that black die... There it is, right there. It's a 1. So, Evelyn, just roll better than 1.
It's a Rory because
I'll take it.
yeah.
I'll take it because it's a
it's
one.
Rory?
Vivi was the last one to roll.
You only
I'll
have to
take
get
it
up to
'cause it's a
6 here, Rory.
Rory, if you get a 1.
I got a 2.
He's like, I'll take it. I think it could be the
And
1.
remember,
I
we
love
still
it.
have 1 more advantage.
All right. So you have initiative,
Two different.
and let's go to you then first. Anaho, you are below here. You see above you Rasmus as he charges the mage. You have Alora beside you. Here, let me pull this up. So this is Anaho. Here we have Rasmus. Here we have the mage, the goblin mage. Here we have a dead goblin mage. Goblin archer, that's the one that is trembling in the path of our amazing barbarian Taldar. And then over here, we have another goblin who has watched one of his fellows fell to the ground standing in front of Rizia. What do you do, Anaho?
So I will go ahead and fire a shot at the goblin in front of Taldar.
Roll to hit. So you're shooting at this guy right here up on the cliff. So you've got an upward angle on the aim, right?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, roll to hit.
And I'm using my +1. Oops. Okay.
Hello, Mike. Thanks for the resub, Pat.
15 to hit.
15 to hit. I did mention this is a goblin, right? You're also flanking him because he's got his back to you. That's a hit. Roll damage.
Sweet. And now that I do have sneak attack, that still only applies when it's a surprise. Is that right, or not sure?
No. A flank, sneak, surprise. I like to adjudicate that on situation. I think in this case, we will allow the sneak because, again, this goblin is so focused on Taldar, so terrified, he's paying no attention to you. You would get any full attack bonus you have.
Sweet. Okay. 5 points of damage.
That was with your sneak bonus?
1 and a 4, yeah.
All right. Thunk. Taldar, as this goblin rushes towards you, you see an arrow flies from beneath the ground over the rocks, strikes him right in the left glute. Right glute, pardon me. Smacks it. It's important to get the right glute. So right glute smacks it. He cries out, staggers. Now he's slipping in his own bodily fluids, blood pouring out of his leg. Let's go to you, Taldar.
Taldar would like to run directly at him and throw a shoulder into him and send him flying off the cliff.
All right. So let's do a combat maneuver there. Make a roll. I've got his CMD.
Wait, add anything to it?
No, it would be your CMB, which should normally have your strength bonus
CMB,
added. Yeah,
I've
right.
got it. So it's a 20 total.
All right. Taldar, tell me what it looks like.
So first, that arrow from Anaho strikes the goblin into the leg. You see the goblin stumble ever so slightly backwards, while at the exact same moment, Taldar, rushing forward, lowers his right shoulder and throws it directly into the sternum of the goblin. Suddenly, you see the goblin take flight. It's almost graceful the way he flies off the cliff and lands with a thud, blood still streaming out where the arrow struck. I love that. And so as this happens, it's such a strong blow, it literally falls at the feet of the one who had sent the arrow out. So as Anaho's arrow hits, you see like this reverberation. Boom, your arrow hits. Boom, the shoulder hits. The goblin flies off, lands at your feet in a pool of blood, twitches 3 times, and goes still. Now, let's go to you, Rasmus. A goblin stands before you. This is the mage. He holds up a hand. He's got a staff. It's a fairly crooked, weak-looking staff, but he's excited about it as he holds it out towards you.
I don't judge people's staffs. Come on, man. That's messed up.
There we go, our first innuendo. Well done, Josh.
Not the last. Okay, so Rasmus, I had a plan last time, but I don't anymore. So Rasmus is just going to, I didn't use it last time. He's going to put his hand along the blade, and the blade's going to get this odd pigment to it. As he's going to cast, I think it's called like Judgment or something, or Destruction. Yeah, Destruction, so only damage is +1 as well. And that's a swift action, and I'm going to pull back and swing.
All right, roll to hit. Hello, Mike Disney. Hello, our friends from Vancouver by night. Great stream on Sunday, by the way. You guys are awesome.
Not the best, but that's going to be a 15 to hit.
Well, look, a 15 hit a warrior goblin. Now, you're not flanking this one, but this is, this guy has no armor on, robes. That's a hit. Roll damage.
High roll. Okay, high roll. That's going to be 13 damage. 14 damage.
Wow. 14? Really?
Yeah, because the +1 from my destroyer.
All right, you rush forward as his craggled finger points out, and he holds up a staff which you have already judged and found wanting. You strike him with your blade. It goes deep into his sternum, drives him back, and he falls to the ground in a quivering pool of blood. Now we go to Rizia. Rizia, you have cast one off the stone, kicked his corpse off. The other rushes forward. He's doing a point-blank bow attack on you. Roll to hit.
Can I just roll for intimidation first? As I just boot that guy off, I'll slowly turn just to look at him.
Yes, you may.
Ferocity in my eyes. Hang on, I don't know what I want. This one. Not that great. Hang on. Let's see how it scares
Not
you.
the best.
Not the best.
Maybe not scary today. 15 total?
15 total?
Yeah.
I
mean, he literally just watched me
No, I know, and he's watching all of his friends, allies fall around. So tell me how you intimidate.
It's just I'll just right after I boot that guy off, and as he's falling down to the ground, I'll wait for him to hit the ground and splatter, and then because I'm facing off the cliff, right, and I'm just gonna do a very slow turn, and then just look him dead in the eyes.
And so you look him dead in the eyes.
With blood dripping off of my axe.
Okay, all right, with blood dripping off your axe. All right, that was a 15, and I will... He turns and starts to flee. That provokes an attack of opportunity. So if you want to, you can strike him in the back.
Yes, I would love to.
Oh,
Thank you very much.
I would
You know
love
what?
to.
No, let him run. Just kidding. Obviously.
Give me melons. I missed that fan art from Pat last week, but that was great fan art on that. I love that.
Maybe they're just their farm went up in smokes due to someone else's raid of their village, and they make melons. Maybe they're the ones harvesting the melons. Really.
24 to hit.
Just missed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go ahead. Roll damage.
Okay, 8 plus 12. 20.
All right. I robbed Josh of this opportunity because I don't do it on every kill, but I'm going to let you tell me what it looks like. As he flees, drops his bow. This poor little goblin, no longer a threat. And Rizia does what she does. What's that look like?
She's just gonna go and take him, sweep him by the legs, and then just take him right at the kneecaps, both legs off, and he can fall down.
No, but you killed him. You used your blade, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Okay,
Yeah,
fine.
sorry.
Okay, so I'll take him out by the kneecaps just like he did.
All right.
As he falls to the ground, Sans legs. He tries to scurry away. She'll walk up to him.
He scrabbles. He scrabbles for...
Foot, and she'll put her foot down on his face, squishing his face down into the dirt, and she'll bring her axe back up and just hack at his head.
Well done. Thunk. Your axe sinks through deep into his skull, splits it in twain. And there is silence. You all stand on the road. It's still morning, day 5. You all marked off rations, right? It's all 5 days of rations. And water as well. And you have a good sense that you are still many days of travel away from where you're trying to reach. And I'll pull that back up on the map.
Rustling sound as I'm searching through the goblin by me.
I'm sorry, what sound did you say?
I said there might be a little bit of I forget the word I used, but just
Rustling,
scrabbling. Rustling, there we go, thank you. Rustling sound as I search the goblin in front of me.
All right, Elora, obviously nothing for you to do. Everyone has fallen. I won't make you use a simultaneous spell that would remove that spell from you later in the day. But you do see as all of them fall, Anaho rushes forward, and he starts ruffling through the contents of the fallen goblin in front of him. And Anaho, you see he has a small leather jerkin, actually large enough to fit you. And let's do a quick roll here. This is a benefit of being a small guy. I'm going to roll percentile dice and just see here. I don't remember what armor you have. Oh, wow. Okay. So this is nicely crafted studded leather. Looks like he's pulled it off of, this is not of Goblin make. You don't know where he got this, but it's a nice set of studded leather armor that would be appropriate for your 2'11" stature. He also has a bow that is of crude craftsmanship, looks utterly worthless, and a pouch that sits on his hip. And I'm assuming, again, you're searching that pouch. It has a handful of copper, 7 copper to be precise, and he had 1 piece of gold. Who knows where he got that, but you rifle all that away. Let me go to the rest of the party. I'm assuming Taldar is walking. Actually, no, Taldar is riding. Now, we need to. Taldar is riding now because you all have horses.
Rizia will loot the gobbo in front of her.
Okay, all right. So as Taldar ignores and moves forward, Rizia, you have the one whose his face was cleft by your axe as he scrambled away. And let me make some rolls here. Okay. He looks like he might have been the runt of the group, has nothing of value to you in terms of his armor, equipment. His bow is crude. His little leather boots are tiny and actually mockable. But he does have a pouch, and in that pouch you find that he has 4 pieces of copper, no gold, and 5 pieces of silver, and also, homage to Book 1, a couple of human teeth. Now, as you look at these teeth, you notice something interesting. There are fresh roots and blood. These are clearly human teeth and taken recently.
And they came... Did it look... Can I just look down on the ground to see if there's any other like signs of a struggle sans us? Like just... Because we were all on horseback, right? So
Exactly.
Footprints, other things like that.
All right, so go ahead and make a survival check. And while you're rolling that, let me go to Rasmus.
Rasmus at this point would be crouching down by the body of the mage that he killed, and will just have a hand on the chest. Gauntlet off, just hand on the chest, listening.
All right. Would you like me to read this out to you and ask the other players not to metagame, or do you want me to send this to you in a message?
You can just say it. They're pretty good at not metagaming.
Yeah. You place your hand. You feel the life force of this creature slowly ebbing away. There is still a gentle flow of blood that pours forth. And as your hand touches the chest, there is a quiet whisper of greed, of pain, and you quickly see a flash of remembrance. It's as though something plays out before your own eyes that you've never seen. There are 6 members of a party on horseback. You recognize the spider on a small horse at the front of this. They were ambushed by these goblins. Not here. You don't recognize the outcroppings, the rocks. It was somewhere close by. And one of them was slain. An arrow struck through the throat, up through his mouth, and fell. You see the goblins gibbering around as the rest of these people on horseback fled, making no combat effort, running to the north. And then the vision passes.
19 for survival.
You see Rizzy, as you look around, yes, there are goblin footprints all around. Clearly, they have set up here for a bit of time, but their prints come from somewhere to the north. And in fact, it looks like there's a central area here that moves up toward a cave or a rocky area that you can see about 100 yards up through the trees. And you watch these, as you look at these footprints, it's obvious to you they came from that direction.
Okay, sorry, and that's the way that we're going, or the way that
The way you're going, yes, ahead of you, not behind you.
Okay, who's around me still? Is Taldar already gone?
Taldar is already walking that direction, so if you can look at your map here, here's Taldar. This horse was made for walking. He is on that way north, already leaving the rest of the party behind. We have here Anaho searching the body, Alora, who has not said what she's doing yet, so we'll come to her in a moment. And then we have Rasmus with his hand upon the chest of this creature, and you searching the footprints and the tracks.
She'll whistle at Taldar if he's moving ahead, like a. Just kidding.
You knew I was going to ask you to do that. Well done. You can't say. You got to role play. Okay, so yeah, Taldar,
No, she
you.
doesn't whistle at him, but she does. She'll go like.
Yeah.
Taldar.
And Taldar will pause for a moment and look over his shoulder at Rizia.
And she's kind of just like motioning her hands in like the direction that she sees like footprints. As she kind of motions, she's trying to walk towards you, and you can see her kind of wince a little bit as she steps forward. She's like because of her leg. There's footprints going up that way from the goblins. As she does this,
your warhorse, Taldar, seems to pull away. Like it wants to move. It wants to travel. It's not bucking your command, but you feel this urge to move forward with it.
Does it appear to be the goblins we fought, or are there more?
I'm not too sure. It looks like a bunch of goblin footprints. Maybe a camp or something up that way. I also found these. And she'll toss you. How far are you from her, actually?
Yeah, I mean, you can see it here on the map. They're like, it's about 25 feet, but there's also elevation, so that's an easy toss.
Okay, so she'll toss you the teeth. It looks fresh, whatever they are, human.
And so exactly as I described earlier, no dex check necessary here. Maybe one drops to the ground, you pick it up. But there are two teeth that she throws to you, a canine, and then also a molar, and they have fresh flesh and roots.
It's weird to have Rizia not react to teeth the way that Lilith.
I know.
I'm like, a canine and a molar.
Sorry, John, just follow-up question on the vision.
Yes.
So there were 5 people in the beginning. And
6.
Then
There were 6.
And then 5 left.
Correct.
Okay.
As the one was struck through with the arrow, a similar. You're a very smart individual. It was a similar ambush, likely somewhat north of where you are now. And when that first arrow struck and killed, instead of engaging, the rest just fled on horseback.
Okay. That's what I thought. I just wanted to double check.
Yeah.
And Taldar will respond to Rizia.
Then we should keep moving.
It was one of the spiders that was taken.
You hear Rasmus say, are you walking along the cliffside there?
Yeah.
Or?
Yeah, he's moving towards.
All right, Rizia, you hear his footsteps behind you, and you do notice that Rizia winces in pain as she moves, and she talks to Taldar. You saw her throw something. You're not sure exactly what it was, and you come up behind her.
One of the spider's people was killed by these goblins in a similar ambush as what they tried to get us with. The 5 of them, instead of engaging, ended up going onward. So we are close behind, thankfully.
Quick question. Have we mentioned the spider to Rasmus?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
I forget sometimes. And again, Taldar will look back up at Rizia.
Even more reason to keep going.
All right, back to Anaho. You pull these items off the goblin. Alora, you see this happen. All of this is in earshot. No one is too far away. This canyon between the rocks sort of channels the sound. Taldar's voice, the voice of Rizia, all of these things are audible to you. You even see Rasmus as he walks toward Rizia, having said something. You can hear everything that was discussed. And Anaho pulls some items off the body. Alora? Bad timing. Anaho, go ahead. I'm not on her part, my part. So Anaho, you pull these items off. What do you do now?
Seeing that Alora is momentarily focused, I'm going to quickly, because I still want to come back and speak with her, but quickly, I know about these other individuals at the top of these stones.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a horse, whatever that thing is, that I can ride. So I'm not overly concerned about Taldar taking off too far. Plus, he seems to be held up by Rizia. So I got a moment. So I'm going to get up the cliff to where Rasmus was and search that goblin.
Okay. All right, so you scramble up the cliff. And yes, you beat me to it, Pat. I was actually going to say exactly the same thing. Alora, as you try to speak with her, her eyes have moved to some trees and brush to the right. And it seems like there's a silent moment of communion between them. You're not sure what's happening, but you've seen her do this before, and she seems rapt with attention on some shrubbery. Shrubbery! All right, then let's go back to the remainder of the party as Rasmus comes up behind Rizia. Taldar has his warhorse now cantering forward. What are you doing?
So Rasmus wanted to kind of move towards get to that kind of turning point on the cliffside and kind of say that to them so they knew. And he was actually doing a turnaround to head back to the goblin. And then he sees Anaho.
Anaho scrambling up. Yeah, like scavenger.
Hey, you found some incredible boots before. If there's anything on that I could use, let me know. If not, all yours.
I don't know. Come here. We'll see what we find.
He's gonna. All right. He's gonna move towards and he's gonna use detect magic on the area as he's gonna keep his eyes up and around for any sort of auras on any of the bodies.
As you walk forward, Anaho kind of beckons you. Anaho, you see that familiar black mark that seems to move across the neck of Rasmus, briefly across his hand, and then recedes under his armor. And as he holds his hands out, Rasmus, you definitely sense there is a minor magic to this small staff that's being held by the goblin.
Pick up the staff. This seems to have a little bit of magic in it. He'll just kind of put it in his pack.
And I'll be searching this whole time, too.
He'll just say he's going to see if we can find out about it another time, because Rasmus wasn't inside the cabin when they found out that.
Exactly. The spark, right? All right, so you, as you search the rest of the body, you find, Anaho, that the cloak is actually quite nice. It doesn't look like it's of any magical nature, but it's a nicely woven cloak. Actually a little bit better quality than yours, but it's a deep blue color. Beyond that, you find a small pouch that has 3 pieces of gold. Love it when my party gets excited about 3 pieces of gold. 12 silver and 27 copper. So clearly among the wealthier of this group. And you see Rasmus take this scraggly-looking wand that he identifies as magic and tuck it in his robe.
You can see if it's worth anything.
Well, if that is all yours, I don't know what to do with that. But I do believe there was another one on the other side.
Another one. I worry about the big one, about the leader. He may start getting antsy if we do not move on soon.
We got horses, right? You said these things are called horses, and we can ride them, right?
All right. Let's go before Papa gets mad.
I'll race you, and don't call him my papa.
And Rasmus will kind of scrabble down the rocks and try and get up to the other side.
How far is the cliff up? 10 feet?
Yeah, there's like 10 to 15 feet. The rocks sort of move up and down.
Okay.
Normal, yeah, so go ahead.
Well, Rasmus takes his sweet time climbing down the rock. Anaho said he'll race him, and he's going to take this moment to prove he's faster. And he's going to gracefully jump off the cliff and beat him to the other side.
All right, so you're going to leap off the cliff, and again, 10 feet. You're a light figure. I'm going to have both of you roll initiative, please.
Oh, D6.
Yeah.
Man.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, viewers. We will have a couple of giveaways tonight, and a lot more fun to come here. We appreciate all the support from our Blue Box fans. And yes,
So
shrubbery.
I get a bonus to my initiative.
No.
Plus, you'd be a +1, right?
Yeah, so we can just do a +1, so that's a 4 for me.
Oh, even with your bonus, I win when it matters right now. I got a 5.
So you see Anaho, you got a little bit more armor on you, Rasmus, and you did climb down the rocks. Anaho looks a 10, 15 feet, not too bad. Thank you for joining us, Ratty McRadicus. And as Anaho leaps off, scrabbles, runs across, his little feet. You weren't even racing, but clearly he was. He jumps and scrabbles up the side of the rocks and reaches there ahead of you. You can handle this as you wish. Do you try to catch up with him and move as quickly, or just take your time and let him get there?
So what I think kind of made Rasmus pause is as he crosses in Alora's path, or by Alora, he's going to stop and... Alora, are you okay?
So in this time that everybody's been doing their other things, as soon as the combat finished, Laura just kind of waved a hand and the flaming sphere winked out of existence. And then she immediately kind of checked everything near her for a moment and peeked inside of her sack to make sure her chicken is okay. And she looked in. Oh, all right. And she grabs like another handful of feed. There you go, Henrietta. Enjoy that. And then she pulls the bag back around her. And then yes, she does get distracted by a very chatty bush who likes to has started telling her all of the forest-based gossip that she could possibly ever want. And her eyes are actually starting to glaze over at this moment because she is just like, I don't really want to hear about this, but apparently the bush really wants to tell her all about it. And she hears then Rasmus say her name, and she's like, oh, I'm fine. Apparently a couple of squirrels were being very energetic this afternoon.
And as she says this, you know that what she said is true, but Elora, what you also sense from the bush, because bushes are not all that intelligent, and they're not that chatty. There was a general sense of violence and, yes, a sense of enjoyment for the energetic squirrels. But as you put some feed to Henrietta, she pecks at the feed, but then she also reaches up and pecks your finger, and DM gives you inspiration, 1d6 to any roll you'd like to make for fantastic role play.
I was like, don't you dare have Henrietta hurt her. I was going to be furious.
I was just gonna say to her, I was like, beg pardon?
Peck your pardon? Peck your pardon?
Peck your pardon?
Yeah.
Yeah, Henrietta pecks you. You have inspiration. Great role play there. Love that. And you see all this happen, Rasmus.
He just like, yeah, all right. And he'll look up to Anaho. Anaho, did you find anything? As he's about to start saddling back up.
And you see...
And as soon as I got up there, I wasn't waiting for Rasmus.
All right, Anaho. Please roll d20 for me.
Will do. $15 on the die.
On the dot. As you search, you do see this goblin has a staff, but it looks like it's probably more an implement of instrumentation and maybe occasional weaponry. It does not look finely crafted, no runes upon it. You begin to despair. It doesn't even have a pouch. But then you feel a lump in the lining of the cloak. And as you pull open, you see a pocket, and there is a small vial of white liquid inside it.
Elven milk.
Hey, Rasmus, I found another one of your wands up here. It's kind of bigger than the other ones, though. Here you go. Now throw him the staff.
Oh, catch it.
All right, so this sort of weak-looking staff clatters down at Rasmus' feet. Rasmus, same description I gave earlier. You can detect magic if you want, but it doesn't take a whole lot of sense to realize this is probably not much.
Sadly, not too much, but if you found anything else, perfect. Jump on down, as I'm going to actually pull the horses alongside the cliff for him to be able to scrabble down or just hop down onto the horse.
I will.
Okay.
Do it.
I will absolutely hop onto the horse.
Like, widespread?
I've never ridden one before. I don't know what these things are, so yep.
You would know self-preservation, right?
Yeah, but I mean, from what the things that I've done previously, like as far as background-wise, I'm not. You're right. I wouldn't just like open leg jump down. But I just jumped from a cliff, so I understand jumping onto another object.
Oh, okay. I thought so.
But it
I was
makes
asking
sense,
if you were landing like.
Well, yeah, but it still makes sense that I should be able to catch myself before that happens.
Okay.
I mean, I'm going to put my hands down and be smart about it.
That's the best player fight I've ever had. All right, so as you all turn and move your horses northward, soon you're back on the road. And anyone else doing anything else before we move further? Alora, anything else you want to do? Because you had the least amount of opportunity to role play with what's happening here, but I know you had some stuff on the background. Anything else anyone's doing before you move up the road?
Making sure my horse is all good to go. Riding on.
Alora.
Oh.
Could you please just... I don't know how this works, but if you could just remind this horse that I will tell it where to go. Is that how that works? Can you just make sure that it knows to go where I want it to go?
Wait, you're no longer riding with Rasmus?
No, I'm on this one now.
Oh, okay.
And so Laura will look over at the horse and say,
All right. You have to be very kind with this one. Snack up. Shh. He needs a little bit of guidance.
As she says this, the horse you're riding stops and looks over at you with an accusing eye. Yes, you.
Yeah.
Alora, without any roll needed, you know the leap upon the horse's back with no introduction, no sense of grace. It was not appreciated by this equestrian sentient being.
And you may want to apologize for the jumping. It helps to make a good first impression, after all.
My apologies, horse. I will not do that again.
Make an animal handling roll, please. That felt snarky.
There.
What was your roll?
I'm telling you, Naho does not know horses. Oh, that's better than I thought.
Okay.
It's a 6.
Right, 6. So, and what is your handle animal bonus?
3.
So it's that was the 6 with the 3, or
I got 3 plus 3.
Elora, you're speaking as well. Please make a roll and add your animal handling.
All right. I hope this goes better for you than that went for you.
Handle animal.
Natural 20.
No, but it is a 17.
Yeah, no. It's so the horse. You have no sense of this, Anaho. But had you sense of it, there was disdain for your mockery of any sort of equestrian sense and kindness. But as Elora speaks, the horse turns and follows.
And John, Taldar would have.
Taldar
way up
is
ahead
like,
of everybody.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's probably a quarter mile of ahead now.
Yep. Okay. Just wanted to verify.
Okay. All right. As everyone moves up the road, you're traveling north on the road. Let me pull the map back up for you here so you can see it. And of course, we always love looking at that. That's great artwork. I love that one. So you are now heading out of Ernhand. You can see the Grand Forest. It is to the left, and as the road moves north, this is all familiar territory for you. You have traveled this way, Taldar, even as you came to the south. Rizia, you've been through this as well. The Lonely Heath is to the left, and so what we're going to do here is we're going to roll day-by-day encounters, and I will let you guys move forward, and we'll do random encounter sets here. And let's start with day 1, and I'll tell you each day to remove a ration. Day 1. Yeah, you travel along. You are, I shall use the phrase, and I mean it in the traditional sense and no other sense, unmolested. Nothing that bothers you as you travel along this road. You do see the occasional passerby, but you do see also the fragments of the great kingdom. Everywhere there are signs of tragedy, broken wagons, bandits. At the end of the first day, you find another, what looks like a choke point, and there is a body there. We don't need to role play this tremendously. It was already sort of clearly mentioned earlier. This Rasmus is to you the one you saw in the vision. It has an arrow through the throat. You see it looks like the hands have been cut off. Blood flows from the mouth. And it has been bereft of all items. So it's a naked human body laying in the dirt. Taldar rides. You can keep moving. Like I'm not. I'm just letting you see. All right, you keep riding on past.
Taldar would have just kept riding. He wouldn't have even bothered looking at it.
Just in case Rasmus pops up a detect magic as they kind of just gallop or ride by it.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'll be by Rasmus simply because he's the one that's teaching me to ride a horse, quote unquote. I don't know what this thing is, so I'm by him.
No, you detect no magic.
I was like,
Yeah, I know. It was a very interesting roll. I was trying to figure out how to do it, but I'm saying no. You find no magic.
Okay.
Fresh body, sorry, did you say? Was it a fresh body or like a...
Oh, yeah. It looks like it's hours old.
Rizia will hop off just to loot it.
It's naked.
Yeah, so you might have missed.
Naked, sorry.
It's been stripped naked, hands cut off, blood flowing out of the mouth, an arrow through the throat.
Yeah, then
Yeah, if you're doing any looting, you're going into orifices. There is nothing on the
know.
exit body.
There's a ring somewhere.
don't think
Rick
so.
somewhere.
Teeth. She's just taking teeth.
No.
Yeah, there are some teeth left if you want some teeth, but
No,
that's
no.
more
This is
Lily
not
style.
Lilith.
Yeah, exactly.
Rizia could care less about teeth. Melons, however.
No melons. Yeah, well, no melons. Let's move on.
This was
You went there. and then you
I
came back.
didn't. My mind briefly. I just moved on. No melon. All right.
this
So
was the past 6 member of the spiders quorum. Still 5 of them lay ahead.
So does that mean if we move faster, that
We
we'll
We
get
should be
around?
able to catch up with them hopefully by the day's end.
Can Rizia look down at her glyph?
yeah, as you look down at the glyph, and we have some new chatters. By the way, Little Bones, good to see you. Love your stream as well. Thanks for joining us tonight, and also. Ratty McRadicus, that was pretty funny. Rubber glove time. That was actually kind of the mood there at the moment. But as you look at the body, roll d20, please.
$15.
You just see the obvious signs of violence, and looking at your glyph, it is what percentages are not your strong suit, but you can see it is now the large D has moved down about a quarter of the way on the length of the D. So the D goes this way and around. It has a little flourish. The flourish is now gone, and it's now moving down the length on the outside of your wrist or your hand.
And just a reminder, you said we had 30 days, correct?
That's what you were told.
Okay,
And,
we were told.
and as you look at it, it's not incredible math to look. Yeah, that probably looks about right. Like it seems to be the glyph is so when it moves down, it had this sort of strange light to it. It becomes grayish, dead flesh behind where the light goes out.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, then she'll just get back on her horse and giddy up towards Taldar.
All right, so Taldar is quite a ways ahead. Rizia strikes the flanks of her mount and moves up to catch Taldar. Are Anaho and Rasmus and Alora doing the same, or do you remain behind? He's a good quarter mile ahead. He left you behind.
Alora tends to keep up with the barbarians at all times, so wherever they go, she goes.
Okay. All right, so then I assume Rizia is doing the same? All right, and then what about Anaho and Rasmus?
I kept the same pace as we were going by, just clocked it for any magic, and then was like, okay, cool, we're good, and just kept moving on.
Yeah, I'll just, unless otherwise, I'll be sticking close to Rasmus in case I piss off a horse or something. Is this still like morning, afternoon? Is this the end of the first day?
No, we're getting to the end of the first day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so like you've traveled all day long, and there were no specific encounters, just this sort of thing. Thank you so much, Art Hart. I appreciate that. We love your stuff as well, and good to see you on tonight. So we have Rasmus and Anaho riding together. The rest of the party about a quarter mile ahead, traveling at the same pace. Rasmus and Anaho, anything that you guys are doing in conversation, or shall I just move to the camp or the next day?
Just that, Rasmus, I don't think that Eldar will have much of what I say. But perhaps if we camp tonight and move a little bit more expeditiously tomorrow, perhaps we can catch up.
I mean, personally, I would say we just keep going, because they will have stopped as the night goes
That is a good
darker,
point.
and if we can overtake them and kill them in their sleep, then
I would prefer that.
we should be fine.
And if Taldar does not want to do that,
Then we do what Taldar says. He is the leader, and
I don't know where you got this idea from, but
does everyone not look to Taldar? And does Taldar not guide the steps upon the path of this party?
I don't know how to answer that. But
Whether for
Right.
better or for worse, he is the leader. Those in the party, at least the other majority, seem to respect him.
I mean,
He's not trying to be quiet with this whatsoever.
Well, no, it doesn't matter. You guys are way behind everyone else. You can be as like you're a quarter mile behind them. They're way ahead. It's just you and Anaho.
And wouldn't Rizia be by because she was looking at the body as well?
No, because this was all it was all happening in sequence. So Rizia and Alora and Taldar got to the body first.
Gotcha.
You guys came behind. I should have been clear with that. My fault. But no, they're all ahead of you.
Gotcha.
I am in favor of moving forward tonight at a slower pace, or tomorrow at a faster pace. I would prefer to catch them by surprise. So even if that means we split a little bit to make them think otherwise. They last time, I don't think you know this, Rasmus, but this spider, she doesn't know you. You are the only one she doesn't know.
Is
So-
that good or bad?
Well, I'm just saying, you could approach her and she would not know you're with us.
That is a good point.
And then, that's called a diversion, if you're not familiar.
I'm pretty sure I know what it is.
Okay. And then, we could use that if we needed to. I'm just saying there's some options. I don't seem to be able to communicate that well with Taldar.
It seems that your communications with Taldar are usually not very good. It's how did you two end up on such a bad foot? When you just met, last week or a few days ago?
I guess you could just say, I don't know what it's like to walk in his shoes. Or really any shoe. But, I don't know. I really... probably because when we first met, he ripped open a door, a grate, and made excessive amounts of noise instead of entering in a much more quiet fashion that I would have preferred.
Have you tried to understand where he is coming from in his upbringing?
He doesn't talk about it, just like I tell you not to talk about it.
And so, as much as you both are very strong-willed, it seems that you are both hard-headed in the same sense, and until both of you are willing to break down any sort of barrier or shield that you hold, you're not going to be able to really...
Where do you come from?
Nairon.
That is a very interesting place.
You have to learn to work with those beside you or you die. To marauders, thieves.
I'd recognize that statement. That is very familiar to me. Most people, they.
So if we are to survive, or if you guys are to survive, you're going to have to break down those shields so you can hold the shield wall together.
Yeah, I'll try to figure out what you're talking about, Rasmus. Hey, real quick, Rasmus, before we catch up to them, who is Rasputin?
Rasputin.
Rasputin.
A guardian of
Uh-oh.
sorts. It is a guardian that I have had since childhood. Kind of similar to that of like a token. You know how some people use a lucky rabbit's foot? That is Rasputin.
He is a rabbit's foot.
Effectively, yes. He is a symbol of good luck. Something
Is
that I've had with.
You mean like any kind of deity?
Yeah, kind of, yeah. How many people believe in the deity? I believe in Rasputin. And Rasputin gives me aid. That is how I'm able to see magic and heal and fight as well as I do. I believe in Rasputin. And Rasputin, I hope, believes in me.
Perhaps I'll have some more questions. There is mainly one deity I am familiar with, And if Rasputin is like that, keep him to yourself.
I was never planning on talking about him.
I'm just saying, you can. You would need to drop your shield, right? So, I have some particular questions in time, but I hope it is not like what I know.
I have an open grimoire in case you ever need.
Sounds good.
What deity is it that you are familiar with?
Let's just say.
Come on, Naho, that shield. You were just talking to me about it.
Love it.
I'll tell you what, Rasmus. Now pull out my dagger.
Oh.
Hold it by the blade. Say,
Josh, too easy. Come on, dude. You gotta have a standard, bro.
for the time
I'm
being,
playing.
Rasmus, I do expect this back. But go ahead and take my dagger. See what you can make of it. Most people don't take light to the deity that I know. So, enjoy. But when we camp, I want it back.
He's gonna reach back, grab it, keeping one hand on the reins and wrap it around the wrist, so he has a better hold. And he's gonna look over this dagger and just try and see if he can recognize any sort of religious semblance to it, any sort of deity or belief system, or any sort of iconography.
Wow. All right. Hey, Geek Puppet, good to see you as well. Thank you, everyone. So you take the dagger as you pull the dagger from Anaho's hand. It is surprisingly light, and you can feel the workmanship is extraordinary. In fact, the filigree along the haft and the hilt is just amazing. The blade glints with brightness and a keen edge. You feel like you're holding something that's almost a work of art as you take this from him. It is by far the finest dagger you have ever seen.
Any iconography on it that, or symbolism on it that I would recognize or could make a check for.
Yeah. So, you're riding on horseback, and you realize this would probably be something that would be better for you to sit and study at camp. And so with that, we're going to go to break, our one and only break here. Give everybody time to use the restroom, grab some coffee, some water. Thank you to all of our subs and followers tonight. We do have a giveaway that we're going to do tonight. Actually, we might have a couple of giveaways, but let me pull out the ones I have here. All right, so we're pulling out Jay's favorite tonight. One of our giveaways will be the Scarlet Brotherhood from the Greyhawk universe. The entire area of this is incredible. It's got all the work of the Scarlet Brotherhood, a somewhat controversial group inside the Flasks, and so we'll give this away tonight. And then we've been sitting around 60 with several new followers. If we get a little bit higher, where'd my camera go? There we go. Get a little bit higher on followers tonight, viewers, we will actually have a second giveaway, and I've got something really cool over there, but I'm not going to tell you what it is unless we hit that number. Good to see you. Thank you, John, for being on so much. Demon Gun, he was with us last week for our Tailspire session. Fantastic. We also have tomorrow night, I mentioned already, we're doing the Neutral Nurturer session on Druids. Next week, I'll be joined by Pat Draws talking about quick artwork and how he does that on stream. I may have a couple others that will join us. And then in 3 weeks, a great idea from Jeff Siegeland. We're going to talk about on Lore Masters Arcanum, how you handle characters of different alignment and the decisions that they make, because that's a very popular topic. People sometimes struggle with characters that are doing something outside the norm, but that is part of D&D. So we got several LMAs lined up here for the next 3 weeks, and then of course we have BlueBoxCon. I can't believe how close we are to it. It's right around the corner. So as we go to break, I'll play the BlueBoxCon video. Thank you again, Rory, for all the help you've done for all of our video work. And then we'll talk about our sponsors coming out of the break. But before we go to break, I want to let each of our content creators talk about what you do, your streams, and then we have one question to ask our viewers once you're done with that. Let's start with you, Josh. Tell us about Children of Dirt and any other projects you're on.
Well, hello, everybody. I'm NPC Voices on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. If you're looking for me, find me on Twitch. I stream on Mondays as part of Children of Dirt. I'm the DM for 2 different groups of 2 wonderful, incredible women. They are the best, but it's a low magic, dangerous campaign. I would almost say it's almost as dangerous as John's, but I've only killed 1 character so far, so...
We kill players, Josh, not characters. Move on to Joe.
And then I'm here on Tuesday nights, and then on Wednesdays, I'm going to be starting up a modern-day fantasy D&D game. So keep your eye on that.
Very nice, very nice. Okay, Terry, Extinction Curse is kind of making a switch, but you've got some new stuff coming. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, so you can find me at MachaGD, Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. I run Pathfinder 2E edition. We just had minor adjustments to our group on Monday nights due to some real-world things. They happen sometimes, and so we will be redeveloping that campaign and possibly moving nights because of player schedules. Very excited about that. So that'll be either Mondays or Wednesday nights, dependent on what the players can do. The last couple times we've been running adventure paths, but we may or may not be running one of the new adventure paths, the Broken Tusk, which is really exciting with exploration in it. Or there's an even newer one coming up based in Alkenstar, which is between Nex and Geb, if you know the Pathfinder world Galarian, which is real exciting as well. That comes up in March, so I'm looking at that as a possibility. We hopefully will be starting in about 2 weeks. I'm a theater professor, so I have a show open next week, so nothing going on next week, but the following week I'm hoping to start the campaign back up.
Awesome. And are you good for Tuesday night next week, Terry, or are you going to be out?
I am not. I was going to tell you that afterwards.
Okay, all right. So we'll have other content for you next week on Blue Box. I don't want to run this particular session without a player if I don't need to, especially when it was easy when Rizia was unconscious to run a session without her, but when everybody's up and running. So we'll have good content next week. We run Galarian as well on our Rune Lord session on Sundays. We use basically PF 1E here at Blue Box, which is essentially the same thing as 3.5 with custom crit tables, custom initiative sets, things that as a DM I've kind of aggregated over the years, but I love the entire system that's been developed by the folks at Paizo. Great job. We have foundational cooking. Rory, anything else you'd like to tell us about that?
Yeah, so in addition to being here on Tuesdays, is foundational cooking, and we're speaking with our developer tomorrow and hopefully launching the beta version of the site. Hopefully in a month or so. We have to work out the MVP details of the site.
Very nice. And all proceeds from that go to, well, not all, but a lot go to St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. Anything, Bivy or Evelyn, you'd like to talk through, or shall we just jump to break?
I'm on a stream on Tuesdays. It's called Greyhawk Awakening. You can find me there on Tuesdays at 5 p.m.
If you turn on this channel at any time we're live, I'm there. So.
That's exactly right. Exactly. So true. So true. All right, guys. So we're going to go to break. We'll be back in a few minutes. Please stay with us. More fun content to come after the break. Also some giveaways. We'll talk about our sponsors briefly. I want to say again, thank you to all the new folks that have joined tonight. We appreciate you joining the Blue Box community. And maybe before we go to break, we could pop our Discord link in. The ever mysterious Tim may argue on that point, John. No, the dice still hit those tables. That it doesn't matter. Dice always, or just bad decisions by players. Those can also be the effect. And I stand on a solid ground. I've been DMing now for 42 years. Yes, I started at age 8, and I have never killed a player, ever. Never done it. I killed lots of PCs. Blue Box will be right back. I will, Pat. Thank you so much. And as always, we leave the mics hot. I didn't do this, but we can do it without the video. If you're watching right now and you've not followed, or if you're a follower who's not subbed, or if you're a sub, no, let me go back. They need to see these beautiful faces. We don't have to follow a specific structure here. We can do what we want. If you're a follower, you're watching, you're not following. Your follower is not subbed, or a sub whose sub has expired. We have one question for you tonight. What are you doing? Come on, give us a follow, give us a sub. Blue Box will be right back. Bow, 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 bow.
It's gone. Hang on.
Now, guys, keep it.
What? What?
No, I'm just not. I don't trust you, Vivi.
No,
I don't.
come on,
I don't.
come on.
Keep it what?
Let us know.
Keep it what won't get me banned on Twitch. That's all I ask.
So within terms of service, got
so
it.
what can we not do so we can do those things while you're gone? What can we not do so we can do those things while you're gone?
well, the video is cut out. You can do basically anything.
Okay, I want to show you.
There's a
guys
lot you
this real
can't
quick.
do, can't show on stream.
All right, so I'm
Okay, hey guys, look at
lurking
this.
right now to hear what you guys are saying.
Melons? Where'd you get
you know what?
those melons
I've
from?
wondered. I got to say, I've wondered for several
was
months
good, Rory.
why my viewership goes up when I'm on break, and now I know why.
Exactly.
Vicky, I love it. It's beautiful.
I'm gonna go make a protein shake. I'll be right back.
What, Josh? What? No. How's it going, Evelyn?
A little chaotic, but I'm good.
You
How
do
are you
sound doing well overall. Doing well. You do sound louder though. Ever since I think it was last week.
I've shifted my mic so it's a little closer to me.
Nice.
So that should help. The problem is I actually have the tabletop stand that I was gonna put it on, but I can't remember what I did with it. It's the problem is it's just the mic arm is like running into the monitor, and so it can only turn so far.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
mine is like
yeah.
resting on the corner. I don't know if you can see it with yeah, not really. But yeah, my mic arm is behind my monitor and then leaning over the corner of it. So it's an awkward situation, but
You know you're right, Wake. That's what I really need to do. Just make myself a custom mic arm.
yeah, at least I mean it keeps it almost between my two monitors and in front of my face. So that's what I settled with. I was like, yeah, well, it's in the right spot. It makes it difficult to see my screen sometimes, but it's in the right spot.
What?
What's up? What'd you read?
Oh, just chat.
Yeah, but which one?
I just. Oh, okay. I see. I was trying to find context for that.
Hey, if you can hear me, Chew, let me know. Because in my headset, I sound
I can't hear you.
blazing loud. So
All I hear is birds.
No, I want to get on your lap.
You want to sit on my lap? Maybe.
Okay.
It's the microphone. Say hi to people.
Hi.
hello.
You hear him?
No.
Oh, that's
Here, I'll let you. Here, I'm gonna turn this one this way. Everyone in chat is saying hello to you. See? Read over here.
hello.
See all the highs? Hey!
I want to wear your headphones.
You can't just yank people's headphones off.
Please, please,
Tell
Everyone
them
is
I
saying hi.
I need a pair of headphones on my head.
Oh, ow, ow, ow,
You rip your head off
ow. Right.
and you slowly perish. It's unfortunate.
It'll actually
But
be
it
like a rubber
happens.
band effect where she
Yeah, we
pulls
can
it to
both hear
fit, but it
You don't
doesn't.
need to put it on.
It just
I love
slaps
it.
her head. Yeah.
Oh, it's raining outside.
Indeed it
Can you
is.
turn it up?
We got snow here today.
That's weird.
Yeah, like, well, it's March. We usually get a decent blizzard in March. And it was pretty much like wet snow, you know, that real sleety but snow.
Right.
Probably got a good 4 inches. Hey, baby, did you get any snow today or yesterday?
You're muted.
Yeah, you
Yes, and then it was freezing rain.
yeah.
You know, just my life.
We got the snow today. It was like that sleety, thick, wet
Crap.
snow.
Do you guys get really bad potholes over there too? Or is it just here?
No, that's just California.
Oh, our roads are.
we
No,
have
Michigan's got
potholes right
potholes
now.
galore.
It was a joke because it's a pothole.
Here.
I get it.
Yeah.
That's
No,
Colorado.
but the potholes are really bad
No,
here
actually,
because
don't
it gets
have them
it's hot and
set
cold,
earlier
hot and
on.
cold, and then it'll melt, and then it'll get into all the cracks, and then it'll freeze, and then everything busts up, and then it's all.
Yeah,
crappy.
I mean, we get that, but not, I mean, mainly just on like towns, like small town roads or back roads. For the most part, the city and the highways are
Oh,
not.
Our
so
cities
much
are
like that.
trash.
Yeah,
The
you're
roads are
Canada
just-
too, though. So I mean,
Hello,
apparently
Mrs.
Michigan's
Gimbal.
Canada. Oh, what?
Turn off the feather.
The feather.
Uh-huh.
Where did you find? Did you find that, or did you buy that?
No, that was on Mommy's desk. It's one of my feathers that I used to make quills from.
Nice.
Here, she'll have the answer for you, Lily.
Who will?
Mrs. Gimbal.
Mm.
I say that we probably don't have very bad ones. I'm probably just really good at missing them.
Oh, it's like unavoidable here.
Oh, it's not that bad.
Mm-mm. You cannot avoid them. You just have to drive slow. And
Do you
insurance doesn't cover the cost of like the damage of your vehicle for potholes.
All right. So before we're going to be back in just a moment, and we have all of our emojis. You've seen we got our animated emojis, all the stuff that's been created by Art of Mike Disney, and also by Tea Time with Taryn. Thank you, Taryn. They've reached out again this week. Our good friends, sponsors, of course, Mike Disney, one of our great sponsors. And they are still looking to provide us more animated emotes and also even tweak any of our existing emotes. So before I respond, I would like to pop up a poll. I'm trying to think of how to do this to Evelyn. So we don't want to you can't do maybe not even a poll. Let's just say which of our emotes in chat would you like to see animated, or maybe stuff that we have currently you'd like to see changed. We want some feedback on our emotes so we can go back to those folks and work on that over the next few weeks. And yes, I'm stalling for time as I'm setting something up here, but I think that's a good topic. So.
No, it's not stalling for time. It's utilizing the time you have.
Oh, so
to do
well.
two things
Thank
at
you.
once.
I feel validated. Thank you so much.
Can we please have a glitter bomb John emote?
We have a glitter bomb. Have you seen
No.
that? There's a glitter bomb.
Not enough. I want the banana hammock. Show us the banana hammock.
Oh my god. What? Vivi, you are too much, girl.
What?
No, you're funny.
They want to know what you're snacking on there, Vivi.
Okay, so yesterday I made lasagna, but not a typical lasagna with a meat sauce. So what I do is I put spinach, onion, and chicken with an Alfredo sauce instead of traditional meat pizza. Or meat pizza. Lasagna and garlic bread.
Yum.
I also have this tiramisu arrow bar, which is like delicious. It's like a chocolate bar, but it's like tiramisu.
Now, have I said that wrong all these years? I would say tiramisu, but is it tiramisu?
I don't know. I don't know. If
No,
I'm
I'm not trying to
wrong.
contradict you. I just want to make sure I'm not.
I have no idea.
Because I recently, so a funny story. Well, I'll save that after the break, but my mispronunciations can abound because when you read books as a kid, sometimes you just sort of fix those more complex vocabulary words in your head. And if you never hear them, so for example, the word acolyte. I had read that as a child as alcoit. I don't know where I misread that, in some book when I was 12. And of course, you never really hear the term alcoit or acolyte in normal speech. And I was about 3 weeks old, 3 weeks ago old, when I realized I was saying it wrong all that time. So I'm not being unkind to your, is it tiramisu or tiramisu or anyone pop in the chat, help us. Yeah, I exactly, Pat. I know. When I read the word again, I was like, holy crap, how did I ever read that alcoit? It's clearly acolyte. I just blew it as a kid, and then I never got corrected until a few weeks ago. Yes, you can laugh at me. That's fine.
Oh, tiramisu.
That's what I thought. Oh, yeah. So But anyway, my point is, yours was very, very close. I did notice, by the way, Rory, since we're talking about pronunciation, you had always said dagger. You said dagger today, so that was a good correction. But none of you were as wrong as I was with saying alcoit for acolyte. So
It also might just be a regional pronunciation thing, like aunt and aunt.
Yeah.
It's an aunt. Ants you step on.
Yeah. No, that's different. You don't change the letters around like I did with acolyte. That's not a regional pronunciation. That's just a screw up. All right, guys, I'm still finishing setting this up.
So, who here is actually wearing pants?
What do you classify as pants?
Thank you for your patience, viewers.
Are we talking about British pants or American pants? Because that's a whole different situation.
Is it a fully laden set of pants?
It's trousers in
It's trousers
Britain.
and pants. And what about
Pants are underwear.
Fanny pack. Found that out.
Nobody
That
shall
was
ever
hilarious.
know, and I will never stand on stream.
Oh, Amanda, I owe you descriptions. You have 2 of my minis that I still haven't sent you descriptions for. Please message me on Instagram so I do not forget. I love you.
Well, I don't think Cade is watching yet, but the biggest outstanding requirement is
I
Cade
know.
Cardinal. So I'll get on Cade. You've been so patient. Thank you.
You know what else is delicious? Bees.
These.
I thought you said bees.
No, these.
Bees are delicious. Little peanuts.
Cheez-Its made like scorching hot cheddar cheese crackers, and they're like actually spicy, and they're just giving me life. And you can't wipe your hands on your pants if you don't have pants on.
See? That's a good question.
So an unusually long break, but just because these players are so amazing. Enjoyed hearing the chat, and I don't think anything happened that would get us banned. But thank you for all being with us tonight. We do have some giveaways coming a bit later. As you travel the road north, you pass the body, of course, in 2 stages, as I mentioned. Eventually, now it is going to be the choice of Taldar and Rizia and Elora, because you're ahead of Rasmus and Anaho. Where do you set up camp? Or do you ride through the night? Like, whatever you want to do.
Well, Taldar will continue to ride, and he'll look over to Rizia.
What do you think? Do we stop or do we keep going?
As he says this, Rizia, you see the sun setting on the western side of the Flasks. The twin moons are now rising over Greyhawk. But there's ample light as well. But both of you, no roll needs to be made. You've been pushing these horses pretty hard, and you see they're beginning to flag. They were, at the farmer's barn. They were accustomed to certain work, but they have not been ridden this hard. And there's a healthy lather, a froth to the mouth. And again, this is not the DM influencing you. This is the DM giving you the context of what's happening. You do whatever you want.
Mauricio will look down at her hand at the glyph, and then look at the horse, and then kind of just scan around. Does it look like there is any sort of like safe place to kind of make camp or anything?
So let me pull this back up so you can see it. If you will look at so you are now here on the road north from Aaronhand into this area. There's not a lot here of the sort of the stone structure and the outcroppings. You have the muck and the mire. There are trees. There are places you can pull slightly off the road and be sheltered by trees, but nothing that would be a large rock structure that you could hide behind here.
She'll kind of, as she kind of looks around, the horses look tired. Maybe we should take a rest, but I think we should ask Elora to see if there's anything around, if it's safe.
And Taldar will nod at Rizia.
And she'll kind of, if we're all on our horses, she'll kind of like slow her horse down a little bit just to kind of meet up with Elora. Elora?
Yes.
I think we should take a rest. The horses seem tired.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Do you think that it's safe? Or can you talk to the trees or bushes to find out?
So Elora will take a moment to sort of listen for any sounds that might be out of the ordinary, and kind of look around as well to see what might be a good spot to make camp potentially.
Okay. So as I said a moment ago, Elora, you see there are no natural areas of cover here beyond the trees themselves. As you look, and you do see there are a couple of areas you could pull off the road a bit and be sheltered by some trees. Are you doing anything beyond that, trying to communicate with the flora, the fauna, or are you just...
She will actually then, like, when she initially notices that things seem to be fairly, I mean, like the trees are the only cover, she'll kind of ride closer to one of them and look around a bit, and then she'll say, "Would we be safe if we stayed here?" To the tree that is the closest that she rode up
Now,
to.
you pick out a large conifer that is native here to the Eastern Flaness. As you ride up toward it, go ahead and roll d20, please.
Right? So that's a 16 on the die.
A 16. Okay. You walk up to the tree, or you ride up to the tree, and you hear in your mind, no one else hears this, what I would only describe as a simple voice.
Be safe. I see nothing here, but water has not come in some time. Water.
And it goes silent.
And she'll kind of look back to Rizia and say, "We should be safe here."
Whoops, sorry, wrong button. I did a J! I hit the wrong button. Sorry. Go ahead.
We should be safe here, though. It is strange. Apparently, they have not seen water for some time.
And she'll
That
kind
is
of
unusual.
What does the foliage look like? Does it look like it's like dying and dry, or
No, just
she kind of looks around?
well. So you look around. The trees look fine. They don't look desiccated. There's no dryness to them. Elora actually with her. This is a grumbling tree. He's just he's a bit of a malcontent and wants something not that helpful at all. But yeah, that's what he asked for. And she finds a little area that you can pull off to the side if you wish to, or you can carry on.
No. She'll take Rizia will trust Elora. I don't really know much about trees, but it doesn't look like they're pretty dry for not seeing water.
Listen to her.
Still in your head.
I'll give you some water. He just seems greatly displeased right now. Some of them, the older ones, tend to be a little cranky. But yes, he said this should be safe.
Okay. Thank you, Elora.
All right, so I'm going to say by this point, that gives enough time for Anaho and Rasmus to catch up. You see the party is stalled a bit, and Elora, Rizia are talking. Taldar looks a bit impatient as he sits kind of holding back the reins of his warhorse. And you catch up to them as she sits by this tree.
And Rizia will look to Taldar and just kind of give him a nod, like she said it's safe.
And Taldar will nod it back to Rizzy and pull the horse off to the side then. He will dismount.
The horses blow out froth, clearly exhausted, been, as I said, ridden harder than in some time. And you pull off to the side. The somewhat recalcitrant tree still seems to be waiting for a response as promised by Elora. But you are all now to the side of the road headed. I'll pull the map back up. So if you look here, you had a good distance. You ran hard this day. Whoops, wrong button. You ran hard this day, and you are coming around this bend. Yes, you're going to follow me. There we go. Right here. So a full day's ride has gotten you around this bend, And that's why I'm saying, like, there are no rocks, no outcroppings. The forest to the left, the areas where the ocean, the lone heath encroaches from the east are there.
Laura, is
Yes.
there? Am I supposed to? I mean, okay. So there are stuff where I come from that I get the idea, but what do I do with a horse? Do I tie it up to a tree? Do we have stuff to feed it? Obviously, it needs to eat and drink. Because, like, what do I do with this?
Well, this looks like grazable land for the most part, so the horses should be fine as far as eating goes.
Do we need to tie them up to something so they don't run off?
It would be good to do that while we sleep, but for now they should be fine to graze freely.
Okay. What about this big tree over here? This really big one. Should I tie it up to there?
I don't think it would be good for you to do that. He's already rather displeased.
Oh. Okay then. I will let it just graze, like you said. Horse. Graze.
You say horse graze? All right, and then you did like so. She told you not to bind it to that. So did you just let the horse go, or?
Yeah, she said just to let it just go and graze. So she said
Welcome.
tie it up later.
Welcome everyone to Greyhawk Awakening.
All right,
He knows
Josh.
more about this creature.
That
than
was
I
actually
do,
good.
so.
Well done, Josh.
That was
Actually good. Most of his sucked, but that was good. I'm teasing.
Laura, you want to lead the way? We can set up something. Camp.
Well, this copse of trees is probably a good place to rest. It's a good amount of coverage, but I think it might be the best spot. Keeps us close to the road in case we need to make a quick exit for any reason.
Makes sense.
All right, Alora, please roll d20 again.
All right. That is a 13.
13. All right. Yeah. All right. So, Kiosik. Oh, it was indeed good. Sorry, I didn't. Yeah, that he was. You concentrate a moment. Olive, as you pull off to the side of the road, no hobbling or tying of the horses is needed. Alora simply speaks a word, and as she does, you see each of them bow their heads and begin grazing. Taldar, your warhorse, gives you another nudge. But it is power. It knocks you off balance, but it's a sign of respect. And as it does so, again, it lets out that neigh. And then it turns and begins to eat of the grass. You set up camp in moments. Do you set up a fire or do you do no fire? It's getting quite chill, even though it's summer. Your choice.
Taldar would not set up a fire.
Okay.
No fire.
No fire. All right. So you set up a quiet camp. And at summer, it's chill, but not so chill that creates an issue for you. And in moments, darkness has descended by the fireside. The horses graze around, and you, Rasmus, still clutch the dagger given to you by an aho, which you are trying to discern the purpose of.
Yeah.
Bedrolls are set out. Another day's ration is consumed. One more day clicked off the glyph for those that have the glyph. We are now on day 6.
What should I be rolling for? Or just looking over it? If there's anything.
So let's do. This is really tough. Let's do knowledge, arcana.
Where are you, knowledge? Yikes. Yep, that's gonna suck. Okay. Well, here we go. Oh, okay. I have no modifier, so that's a 16.
A 16. All right, so Rasmus here, you sit beside the camp. You should be able to see this on your screen.
Yep.
No fire. You are uncertain. You've never seen anything like this. All I can say is the workmanship seems to you, I don't know how to describe this in contextual terms, but alien would be it's like nothing you've ever seen before. You do see, though, in the center of it, there seems to be the subtle hint of a spider.
A spider or the spider?
I'm talking to a spider.
She's actually been trapped in there the
Yeah.
whole time. The real enemy
exactly.
is
No,
Okay.
no. So it's a literal. It looks like a literal, like, no, literal is the wrong term. It is a symbolic reflection of something that looks like a black widow, but the spidery legs form out around, connect around the blade. Somewhat abstract in nature. You don't know what this means, but it's like nothing you've ever seen.
Would I know of any spider deities?
No, that's what I was telling you. Now, based on that roll, you didn't. No.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Anahu, you see Rasmus studying your dagger, flipping it around his hand, looks up at you for a moment. All the rest of you are consuming rations, tending to your horses.
I toss it back to him.
Catch it. Put it away. So you found everything you needed, yes? Yes. Good.
All right, so let me show you the dagger. Pull this up here. And this is what you looked at, Rasmus. This is what is tossed back to you, Anahu. And 3, 2, 1. These strange sigils, buckles, silver, the lightweight, incredible alloy, very strange in your hands. And then a subtle web and spider. Difficult to discern, but your roll was good enough to see what's here around the blade. And you throw it back to him.
Are we good now, Rasmus? Or is there any other questions you have?
I mean, just like you, I'll think of more questions as we get to know one another.
Yeah.
That's as it goes.
Yeah. Sure. About that though, you might want a couple of these. You seem to struggle in your last fight. And I'll hand him 2 flasks.
All right. What 2 flasks?
2 of Phalene's flasks.
What do these do?
Just don't let them land by you, and unless you want Taldor to take off your head, don't let one land by him. They Oh, I used them a while ago. I think you were with us, right, when we fought in the graveyard in the crypt. They kind of light things on fire that are around them.
How does it work? Like it's you've handed me a metal ball.
Throw it. And don't throw it down. Throw it. And it will just, like a little wizard's fireball. I don't know. It was one of our previous companions. I don't know why it works, but it works.
Okay.
So the horses continue to graze. All of you hear this conversation around you. And anything else you do before you retire? And
Are
resume?
we sleeping in shifts or are we sleeping? Yep. Okay.
As is
Wait, no.
usual,
So
I'd like
again,
to
so Vivi, ask that in character.
Oh.
Yeah.
So are we sleeping in shifts?
as
Ratio will
usual-
then turn to the group and say, "Are we sleeping in shifts?"
As usual, I'd like to take the first shift, if that is alright.
Fine with me.
I will be on first watch with Rasmus.
Sounds good. I will take second watch.
Then I'll take the third.
I'll stick with Telder.
All right. You all retire or anything else before you slip out for the night?
Rasmus will he'll feed. I know I was just eating, but he would have fed his horse first, and then once he's done eating, he'll go back to the horse and brush its coat, make sure it's well taken care of, inspect its feet, scoop out any mud or remaining dirt from inside of the hoof, and put it back down, checking the knees and the joints.
As you do this, your horse, it nuzzles against you, recognizing this care and tendering that you're providing. And you now have a 1d6 inspiration for anything doing with your horse. So any dealing you have in combat or movement, you have built a connection with this horse.
And he'll just be speaking softly to it, just brushing its coat. That's it. And that's what he'll do during his first watch, kind of keeping an eye up and around and taking care of the horse unless Allura wants to interrupt or anything. Not interrupting like a bad
No,
way,
we know
but
what you
just
meant.
like-
Yes, we know what you meant. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
She's just judging you.
The druid can.
It's like over the shoulder teaching. No, you don't. No, it's
Actually,
no.
so Allura actually comes up behind Rasmus and kind of just stands there. She's not saying anything, just behind his back. And then after a long moment, she sort of taps him on the shoulder.
He like chuckles a bit, kind of turns an eye slightly. Yes, Allura, what can I help you with?
I just was noticing you were taking very good care of your horse.
And he'll stop for a second and he'll turn around and put a hand on the horse. I feel like you would be one of the people to understand it, but I have less sadness about killing a person than I do about hurting an animal.
I can understand.
I prefer animals. They are kind. They kind in their own right. They have their nature. That's why I love. What did you? Have you picked a name for her? Yes.
Oh, my chicken?
Yes.
Yes, she's called Henrietta.
And what brought you to that name?
Well, once on my travels, when I left home, I briefly found myself on a small farm, and the very nice lady who lived there was called Henrietta. She was a plump woman. She liked to bake very much, and I don't know, the chicken sort of reminded me of her.
Yes, and this little one is a little plump as well, and I bet if her talents could bake, she would do a great job kneading the bread.
It would be very hard. She has wings, not hands.
The talents,
Perhaps.
possibly.
Maybe that's something we can work with her on.
We can see what hobbies Henrietta has.
Right now, it's mostly eating and sleeping.
Oh, has she laid any eggs?
Not that I've noticed.
Okay, hang on.
Lift up chicken. Oh!
Oh no, she's still in the bag, right? She's still,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, she's in the bag.
So you kind of like no eggs.
Not yet.
She might be an older chicken. And that is okay. A chicken is a chicken no matter how small.
Yes, that is factually very true.
And of course, Alora knows that chickens probably are not going to lay eggs when they're in a satchel being carried across the road in trauma. So whether you choose to say that to him or
Trauma?
not, yeah, look, violence, bloodshed, screams, horseback riding. Okay, yeah. So
Chickens are terrifying.
yeah, this chicken is
I
a.
haven't just told Henrietta very much, just to make a point, because I've only been casting spells so far.
Mommy, can you please get the putty out here?
He kind of does a little nod-ish bow towards Henrietta. It is wonderful to meet you, Henrietta. You will make a wonderful part of the group.
We're not going to conclude there, but that would be a mic drop moment. I've never had a PC bow to a chicken in my campaign before, but well played.
Do you know, I can tell you can speak with nature. Are you able to speak with animals as well?
Not in a literal sense yet. At least I have to continue communing a bit. It is something that takes a little more skill, and I have not learned that quite yet. But I hope to someday.
He will kind of like dip his head and a little bit of disappointment and turn back towards the horse.
Yeah, the horse actually nudged you again. Like it seems to be jealous of the attention that Alora's taking, and it's kind of bumping you. Alora, you're bemused by this because you obviously, even without speaking with them, you know so well how these animals operate. And the horse was loving the attention that it had, and so now it's kind of bumping him.
He'll pat the leg and turn back around and start brushing them again. And as he turns, his voice will change, and it becomes more of a silky tone, and the words flow beautifully. As he says, that's disappointing. I was hoping to learn their name, be able to truly call them by what they are known as. And in that tongue, he speaks in a Elvish tongue. And the reason it's very silky is very similar to other languages, almost similar to like Japanese. Like you've got the formal speak in the very high society and low, and he speaks in a high society style of Elvish accent. And he'll look back towards you with a little bit of a wry smile on the a non-scarred side of his face. I just smile and kind of keep brushing.
It is curious. I have not heard the formal speech in a very long time.
Do you wish to continue to speak in this tongue? Does it make you feel more at home or comfortable? As he's not looking at her, he's just taking care of the horse once more.
And the horse, now no longer sort of being belligerent, is bowing to the ministrations of Rasmus.
She actually responds in a language that Rasmus would not understand. But to anybody who spoke this language would understand that she says, I am more comfortable in the tongue of the Druids. So she's speaking it in Druidic.
Rasmus responds. No, just kidding. Just kidding.
You shouldn't know that. You're not a Druid.
So she says words that mean nothing to your ears. I'll leave there. I won't provoke her to give us the words, but yes, yeah.
He just stops, and at this moment, I do not know.
Yes, that is a language that I am more comfortable speaking. However, this is fine. I do not mind it. I am just somewhat out of practice.
Yeah, well, if you ever wish a little bit of practice, I am rather fluent, for better or for worse, as he's this whole time speaking Elvish with her.
It is not very often that the elves teach the high tongue to non-elves.
It is an uncommon and odd experiences, situations. That's
Sounds like you have had a very strange life.
coming from those amongst the druidic nature, that is a compliment.
I didn't mean it in a disrespectful way, just to be clear. It's just, I am not accustomed to people who are so well-rounded, open-minded.
In whatever culture and space you come from, that's all most people want.
Well, the druids themselves that I have grown up amongst are very open. It tends to be the other people around us, the ones you find in cities. They are not as accepting. They find what I would consider a normal part of life strange. The thing about balance in the world is death and life and good and evil are all part of it, but it is as if the world of cities and things shun that all that is natural. And they find the unusual.
And I don't want to interrupt this. Like, you guys continue as you are, but you're all in camp together. So I want any player that wants to interject. You can hear all of this. If you don't wish to, you can remain silent. The horses are grazing. I just want to make sure everyone knows you're in the same encampment here, and you're hearing all these conversations. Carry on.
That's the funny thing about those from different walks of life. Everyone else is strange to who you are.
Yes, I think so. So I try to understand as best as I can.
Stay open-minded. Yes.
Exactly.
You are... Joshua lost the word. Interesting. That's effectively what he would say, but there's a different word I had. You are interesting, and I do enjoy speaking with you more. As he gets bumped again by the horse.
Yeah, it's nuzzling you.
I am sorry. Elora, I do not mean to be rude, but it is time for me to put my full mind instead of half of it towards the care.
Of course, we can speak more later. I just initially wanted to tell you how I appreciated the fact that you are showing such care for your horse, as many do not.
And she'll just kind of give him a little sort of half bow, not full. She'll just kind of bow her head, and then she'll go and walk and kind of sit down on her bedroll. But she keeps her feet in the grass.
and I hope the rest of the watch goes undisturbed.
I want to see who would speak first. I just wanted that awkward pause. All right, so we have the 3 watches that are being held. On the second watch, you hear some crackling of sticks and movements of natural animals, but nothing that is deeply concerning. And soon it's over, and the next day dawns.
Taldar would wake up immediately and begin packing up his stuff.
Okay, that's easily done. Spartan style. Anyone else?
Although, do you think we can ride a little bit quicker today? Will these horses take that?
Who are you talking to, Rory?
Taldar, you.
Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure. Taldar looks at you. They should be fine.
Taldar, roll animal handling, please.
Okay.
Now, you know horses quite well.
Indeed.
They should be fine. He has no idea.
They're halfway under a cart already.
Can I use my inspiration here too?
You can.
Talbot's actually from the city. He's just
And you said that's a
BSing all of us.
1d6?
Yeah, D6 added to your D20 roll plus your handle animal bonus.
That's only 13.
Total of 13. You see the horses are weary, but you know enough to know that as the days go by, their capacity for travel and expediency will get better and better, but they are still struggling a bit.
And he's going to leave it at they'll be fine.
Okay. And now he's just going to go over to his horse and practice climbing on it until otherwise. He'll kind of like put one foot in when he finally gets up and sit. You'll see him holding onto the horn of the saddle in the back and just standing on one side, playing off that he can't get his other leg over. It's kind of like, hey, this is how you ride a horse, right? And then eventually get on top of it. And I mean, I'm sure I understood. I kind of got a halfway answer, but Taldar said horses are good. So I don't know where to go from there.
Yeah. Rasmus will kind of have his stuff packed up. Good. That means we should be able to overtake the one known as the spider before the day's out.
That would be nice. Preferable. Spiders are meant to be squashed.
Agreed.
You see
They're
Rasmus.
actually very helpful in catching pests.
That might be, but I prefer them dead.
This one at least.
No, all of them.
Oh.
With like the most straight, dead, serious. Like when you say that, Rizia, if there's any humor that you've ever heard in Anaho is gone. No, all of them. Dead. All of them. And kind of a look over his shoulder when he says that. Dead.
Rizia will kind of just walk past Alora to her horse and just like, he really doesn't like spiders, like at all.
Does he not understand that that would cause a major ecological disaster? With all the smoke?
And then like Rizia just has that look on her face where like she just entered a conversation she wasn't ready to have. She's just like,
And Taldar, while listening to all of this, dips his head, shakes his head, brings his head back up. Are we done talking about spiders?
yeah. let's go. And then as she like just about before she mounts her horse, she turns over to Laura and she'll be like, we'll talk more about that later.
Mm-hmm.
This season. Oh,
And Taldar begins to ride.
Not shocking. But don't miss. You saw this earlier. A shaking of the head. Rasmus seemed to have some sort of reaction to this discussion, and he says under his breath, I believe he said, "This is not good. There is something about this conversation that has triggered Rasmus."
Are you triggered? Because you just look confused.
That's his triggering look.
He kind of was triggered.
That's his triggering look. All right, so you set off no encounters in that evening, and I'm going to pull the map back up here so you can see where you're at. You are traveling north upon the road, and of course, let me pull this out so you can see the sort of the total travel area you have to go here. But it is... What is going on with my monitors today? They are fighting me. Wait, there we go. Got it. All right, so that you are here. Coming out of Airhand, you had the turn. Now you're making multiple days travel. I'm going to do checks each day for encounters.
Yes. Let us fight. I want to fight some. Come on.
Well, not one. So you have a great day coming out of that. Birds are chirping and flowers are blooming. You catch some quarry. I'll give you 1 day's ration, so no day's ration needed to be removed for that day. That's you find all the plenty you need traveling.
Sorry, DM, quickly.
Yes.
How many hit points do we heal overnight?
So each night on the road with comfortable campsites and no encounters, that's 2 hit points.
Oh, and if you're hurting anymore, Rasmus would be offering of any sort of healing.
And I was gonna say Allura also would heal anybody who needed healing. So
yeah, Rizia's hurt pretty good.
All right, so Rizia.
Her leg is just won't quit. But
So the -2 dex is still there, but yeah, you call it 1 day, 2 days travel. You have healers in the party. Everyone is fully healed of your base damage, but the minus still applies. You're going to have to take a few more days of healing to get to
just hit points is where I was looking.
Yeah, no, that you got that all back. Then day 2. All right, so no encounters, but rations gone, and you move further north on the road. You head through the Arity lands. You're getting close to the rocky areas of the Gold Cliffs. You know this is a treacherous mountain terrain. Taldar, you headed around the town of Phalene when you came down this area, and you knew Copperhaven as an area to be avoided, but you did travel essentially this road. As you now get close to these caverns, we'll do day 3. Again, no encounters. So you find yourselves now, the horses beginning accustomed to the travel. Another day's rations gone from the party. And you travel further north, and the glyph grows smaller and smaller upon your hands. And the sense of urgency grows. Because as I scroll out here, you're on day 8, and you are trying to get here into the Raker Mountains. There is a massive area of ground still to be covered, and you are 4 days out of Relastra, 5 days out of Relastra, 8 days into your travel, and just heading into the cliffs.
During these couple days of travel, and I would just bring up to the group that if we were so close to the spider already, we may want to keep an eye out for any possible tracks. So I'm not sure if we've seen any. Anaho would do his best, but that would have been brought to the group that we should probably keep an eye out for their tracks specifically also.
Okay. Party?
Yeah, each night they camp, Rasmus will, if no one else does it, he will try and spot for any sort of tracks of other horses heading forward.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of a futile effort. you're on a main thoroughfare, a road. You do see passersby going back and forth, even as you get parallel to the fallen city. It's a regular passage. Most of the caravans you see have extra guards. As you reach the end of this last day, right before you reach the end of the cliffs, you do see a small caravan. There's a wagon. Has a dark skin, looks like he might be Rene man, sitting at the front with two burly-looking guards beside, traveling toward the south. And as you pass by them, he pulls up reins a bit, looks cautious. You see the two beside him. They pull out blades and look very wary of this heavily armored party.
Excuse me, fine sir. And I'll keep my distance. Have you by chance seen a small female halfling riding that way?
The guards that stand beside him lower their weapons slightly, but still watching this party quite closely. The man, as I said, looks Rene by nature, pulls his horse slightly forward and looks up at you. His dark skin beams in a bright smile. What is you mean? A fine gentleman, thank you so much for your compliments, but I have many goods to be given here. And you're asking me about travelers upon this road? I've seen so many.
Oh, my... Excuse me, I didn't realize how much goods you had. Perhaps we could exchange some goods for information. If you would be willing to show us what you have, perhaps we could benefit you in some profit. But we are in search of a particular halfling that has caused trouble for a lot, and we want to ensure your safety.
You, my friend, are a halfling. If you wish to exchange coin for goods, I have many that I can provide. If you have the coin to provide, I will give the goods. But asking me to account for every traveler I have passed upon this road, I have seen so many. To say halfling many times are mistaken for children,
Yes.
which I might have mistaken you for. Forgive me. How could I know who I would be seeing?
If no one has given you any trouble, that is all we're concerned about, is that no one has given you any trouble. But if one has, that one would stand out to you. But
No.
otherwise, I would be curious to see what you have.
No one gives Two Smith any trouble. Two Smith has seen no trouble upon this road. I have, my friends here, these guards are quite, but I have goods. If you have coin, drink, food, perhaps special items, depending on the amount of coin you have, I can give these to you as well, but always in exchange for coin.
Yes, I do, and I am sure my companions here do as well, if they are not still riding off. But
That's their choice. So let's go to the party. You guys just brush past this guy.
Taldar does.
Okay. Taldar just rides around.
Alora, his arm. He's not stopping. I'm sorry.
Alora
It's not
follows.
happening.
All right.
Yeah.
Rizia will halt for a hot minute and just turn to him and be like, "You got melons in there?"
The melons, they only grow in the south. I've not been to the south yet. There are no melons in my wagon, but I have various other hearty things you could use as you travel
Very well,
north.
then. And she just cuts
walks
him
on
off,
past
and
him.
she just moves forward, just like, "You ain't got what I want. Get out of here."
No melons. You just walk on past. All right. Rasmus and Anaho. Do you got? I feel like we have two different parties here now, but that's fine. Are you guys saying anything further or just walking past?
I am, but Rasmus, what do you got? Did you go past?
Rasmus continues past, but as he hears that one of the group is staying behind, he'll slow the horse a little bit, but he's going to keep closer to the party. Just wanting to make sure nothing goes wrong back there.
Okay.
I do not have much time, my wonderful and gracious friend. But I do have a little bit of time I can spare you if you have beneficial items. Unfortunately, not melons. And fortunately, you have not ran into this horrible individual that we are searching for. But what do you have in the way of food, rations, equipment, or oddities, especially oddities?
Well, I have many of these things, my friend. I can provide you any basic goods you would require. I have ropes, and I have food, I have drink, I have strong Baclunish ale that can be provided if you wish a bit of imbibery for pleasant evenings. But when you say oddities, what do you mean? And he kind of grows still, and you see a twinkle in his eye.
The thing that, the average person might not keep an eye out for. Things that are a lot less common than rations. But I will take 10 rations. If you have 10 rations, I would like this.
Yeah, so he gives you, he reaches in, he pulls out, John just snuck the word bribe into it. Exactly. He pulls out some rations. These are not dried rations, so they will only last for a number of days. But there are basic foodstuffs. You have some meats that have been cured, some basic fruits that have been provided. Unfortunately, no melons, but there is bread, butter, and he gives you for 3 gold, 10 days rations.
And beyond the rations, which I am very grateful for, fine sir, what else do you have? Any well-crafted arrows or oddities?
I'm afraid I have nothing with arrows, but how much coin do you have? I may have an oddity that would be of interest to you.
I would imagine. And he looks up to see if he can still see the group and Rasmus. And
No, they're sort of receding in the distance. Rasmus slowed himself, so he's just a few yards ahead. The rest of the party is receding in the distance.
I would imagine that, like you, sharing that information may not be fully accessible. However, I can tell you, and I'll pull out one of those. Remember Anaho, we found some of these really old, unique coins, platinum-looking coins.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But they're not the same as a
That's right. Yeah,
platinum
on the battlefield outside of. Yeah, exactly.
So he'll pull out a couple of those. I do have more coin than this, but here are these very unique platinum coins. Perhaps you are more familiar with them than the average person.
As you hold these out, his eyes go wide, but not at the coins. He sees the ring on your finger as you're holding out the coins. Mm-hmm. Oh, crud. My ring fell off today. His ring fell on your finger as you hold out the coins. Those are very precious coins, but I do not need those ancient coins. But what is on your finger? I could give you something of great benefit in trade for that.
First, if you would tell me the value of these coins, then if you tell me what this ring does, and then if you tell me what whatever you have does, I perhaps would be absolutely willing. This ring has done me nothing so far.
Roll D20, please.
And a 13 on the die.
A 13. He looks up at you and...
Diplomacy or something.
I'm sorry, what's that?
Am I adding diplomacy or anything?
No, I've got that here. I say,
okay.
Yeah, so he looks up at you and says, these are old coins, gathered, I believe, from the field we avoid when we carry the caravans toward Relastra. There are many unfortunate creatures there, but they are still valuable. Each, I think, would be clearly worth 10 gold. But what I could offer you for that ring is far more than 10 gold. I don't know precisely what the ring does, but I can tell by the construction and the symbology. There, I see the horn carved on the edge of it. Would be quite valuable. And for this, I can give you... And he reaches back into his wagon, kind of rummages around a bit, and pulls out a pair of leather boots. They're dark leather, look supple, have buckles on them, and they are about your size. Rasmus, are you still staying behind, or are you moving forward now?
So Rasmus gets to pretty much the edge of like seeing the people, seeing him. Grandpa, we need to move on. I cannot wait any longer.
I will be there in one moment. I will be there. Don't worry.
If you die, you don't have my sympathy. As he'll turn the horse and hit, not hit the horse, but like try and urge it to go faster to catch up.
All right, you move ahead.
I don't mean to rush you, fine sir, but we must hurry.
There is no rush. Take these boots. I will take the ring. These boots will make you... you are a slight... these are normally for small ladies, but I think these would fit you nicely. And they can make you quite quiet and stealthy as you move around. I would take this gladly in exchange for the ring.
But what if the ring does more? I don't know what the ring does, and I have to trust that these boots will actually make me quiet.
You can try the boots on if you wish, but no, my guards will follow you. I will not have you escape with my boots. In fact, if you wish to try them, leave the ring with me. I will go nowhere. If you think the ring is... I have no sense of the actual power of it. I just see the symbol upon it and the construction. It feels to me quite valuable. I am willing to take a gamble if you are willing to take a gamble with me, my friend. Never let it be said that Tismu is not a gambler of friendly nature.
Can I do a sense motive?
Yeah, go ahead.
Dirty 20.
A dirty 20. Okay. You're not sure, but you see no, just chill. Just chill. you see there's a glint in his eye. You sense there is greed and not a nefarious, malevolent, evil greed, but he probably knows more than he's saying about what's on your finger.
I appreciate your time, fine sir. But I am quite fond of the ring, so I do appreciate your time and these rations. But I must be going. I have a long ways to go, and I cannot fall behind.
He shudders a bit. But are you sure? You've not even tried these boots. They are. Look, they're small like you.
They are small like me. I'll give you 40 gold for them.
No, these are worth far more than 40 pieces of gold.
How much are they worth?
That they are worth that ring.
Then they are not worth enough. I must go now. Unless you are willing to offer something else, or a different trade, I must be going.
His eyes grow steely. Do you have 40 gold?
I do. I have 40 gold.
And you have those 2 platinum coins from the ancient battlefield.
I do.
You give me all of this, I will tell you what this ring is. Or I will give you these boots. And you can keep the coin. The choice is yours.
Wait, just so I understand, he's saying 40 gold for the information or for the boots? Or the
No,
ring
40
for
gold
boots?
plus the 2 platinum pieces from the battlefield for the information on the ring. Or you can keep all that and he'll give you the boots for the ring.
I do appreciate this, sir. I do. I'll give you 10 gold for the information. And Felix calls,
We have wasted our time, my friends. He slaps the flank of his horse, and his guards start to move forward.
and I'm heading towards. I'm trying to catch up now.
All right, and that's what we call a failed negotiation, which is still a good part of D&D. Thank you so much. It is 7:45. We do need to wrap up tonight. And yes, you can have an entire session on stream without combat. There were a couple of places combat might have occurred, but did not occur. I thought the players were fantastic tonight. We have a couple of giveaways to do, and I want to say thank you to all of our players and our sponsors. As we conclude tonight, we'll wrap up with our stream MVP votes. And let me do our first giveaway tonight, which is going to be... Where's my Nightbot? Thank you for the fan art. That was so fun. Let me pull that back up. We have Pat Draws. We have Sieglund, Jeff. We have Mark Views, Lee, Lizzie. So many people that create great fan art for us. We appreciate all of it. And this one was pretty funny. And kicking that off. All right, and let's do our stream MVP as we're going to do first giveaway. What is my Nightbot? Got it. All right, so for this first keyword, it's going to be sacred. Sacred in the chat. I'm sorry, sacred, not sacred, scarlet. Too many things at the same. So scarlet in the chat. That is for the Scarlet Brotherhood guide. Which, as I joked about earlier, is Jay's favorite. Actually, the Scarlet Brotherhood is an interesting topic in the world of Greyhawk. But this guide is that giveaway. Whoop, nope, wrong one. Sorry. Where'd I put it? That was my city sites. Here it is. Scarlet Brotherhood. This guy is the giveaway for tonight. And then we'll do our grand prize giveaway in just a moment. Players, questions or thoughts on tonight's stream? I'm not asking like, oh, this was fun. That was like, just like any questions about what happened, different moments in the game. Go ahead, Josh.
I have one question about, actually, it's more about the farmer and his wife.
Okay.
Are they similar to in the first campaign with Burn? Are they old Greyhawk people, old adventurers from Greyhawk lore?
Fantastic question. Yeah, that's a really good question. So you had like...
never got their names.
Right.
I really wanted to.
No. So like everything in Hamlet, Burn, all of that was part of OG Greyhawk lore. However, no. Everything that's happened since you... Like, there is not as much content for the Flasks and the eastern side, even Relastra. You know, you've got Drax and you've got the Fiend Sage, but there's not a ton of content on the eastern side of the continent, which to me is fun. So a lot of what's been done has been built out. The ancient battlegrounds that you covered, that's not in traditional Greyhawk lore. I created that. The party, or the farmer and his wife, that was all sort of custom Blue Box creation. But it's all, to me, it felt in context for the gaming world. But no, that's not. It's not. You won't find that in any Greyhawk book.
Cool.
All right, and we'll give you 5 more seconds for that first giveaway. 5, 4, 3, 5, 4, 3, and 3, and then 2, and 2. And then 1. Thank you, players. I know all of us have busy lives. You guys have been so great, so consistent, except Terry, who's leaving us again this next week. So consistent with being on stream. That's my passive-aggressive humor, Terry. I did not mean that in a bad way. Please don't look so sad. You're awesome. All right, and the winner of the Scarlet Brotherhood, or John killed the stream. Yes, I love that, Robert. No doubt. And the winner is Scott, Obsidian Risk. Scott, are you still with us? Congratulations, my friend. And then, so we have 63 viewers, and I'm about to do something really fun. Hang on 1 second. Those of you that stay late, that stay with us, I like to sometimes give you special things. So hang on 1 second.
Ooh. It's melons.
Yeah, so John's gonna change his costume real
Into
quick.
Glitter
as
John.
He's coming back in as Glitter Bomb John.
Glitter Bomb John with a dino shirt.
Banana hammock. Banana.
Banana hammock.
See?
Banana hammock.
Mikey
We're gonna
B
call
said
it the Banana
hammock, too.
Split Special.
Maybe not.
It's his original
Whipped
banana hammock.
Hey, well, he's gone. Vivi. Oh no, too
Oh.
late. He's back.
Dang
Oh
it.
shoot. Okay, sorry.
I had something for you and Josh, but too late.
What is it?
Too late.
It's the middle
Too
finger.
late.
It's a
John, you
small
need to leave
mouse.
again. Rory's gonna give us something when you're not here.
No. You don't want to leave. You do not want to leave.
No, I
John-
said you leave for a minute.
No, I was not. I knew what you said, but I'm not. Go ahead, Roy.
No. It was-
No, he doesn't want to say it.
John-
while
I'm
he's
gonna save this for next week, Vivi. I wanna build this up. We're gonna put it on stream,
Okay.
so we'll do this next week.
here. Sounds good, Mankini.
Go ahead, Roy.
No, he doesn't want to say it while you're here.
Well, no, it's my stream. I can rewatch it. Go ahead, Rory. what the heck? Are you kidding? You can't hide this from me.
No, it was just an emphasis on the glitter bomb John. But
Well,
it's okay.
this guy's been taunting me all night long. It was left up here on Sunday. This shirt, my wife, I don't know where she got this, but
Oh my god.
I'm being threatened with this.
Shirt.
Yes.
Oh, it's so you
We
can
were
open
so
the
close to
ceremony.
him wearing it on Sunday.
I know. I was so. Yeah, we were in the night. We got to like 94 on Sunday, but we know every week is a bit different. Hey, thank you so much, all of our
John,
mad
so
chatters.
that-
You in
for
with
the
booty
opening
shorts?
ceremonies at Blue Box Con.
Yeah, booty shorts, like white booty shorts with that top, and he comes in on rollerblades and does like the little spin. And
Let's
goes,
do it.
Welcome to BBC.
Let's
with it tucked in, the shirt has to be tucked
Yeah,
Can we
the
in.
shirt's got to be
smoke?
tucked in.
And smoke machine.
Well,
Yes.
he does have the fog machines. So we can-
But you're supposed to help me with my fog machines, Evelyn. I'm still waiting. We need new fog machines. I can tell you of all that, the one thing that is not going to happen is white booty
Okay.
shorts. White booty shorts are not going to happen.
That's
Ed-
fine. Josh will wear them for you.
Yes, that's that. We want to see Josh in the white booty shorts,
Spots.
and then we'll all spin around and fall down on our skates. Because I cannot skate like my 11-year-old daughter does. Anyway, all right. So the grand prize giveaway as we vote for Stream MVP is. I picked this up with my friend Fraley, 17, Patrick, one of several great Patricks we have on the stream. This is a $50 book. And I'm doing this specifically because I did not promote it. I really love it when I have fans that stay on and support us, even when we've not done something that's like pushing a big giveaway. This is the full Keep on the Borderlands conversion for 5e. This is a massive tome.
so cool.
You can see this here. This has all of the maps. It is 200. Let me get the page count here. Say
168.
no, 370 something pages of content. Full color renderings of many maps. This is a huge tome. Will cost me more probably to ship it. No, it won't. But it'll cost me a lot to ship it. And this will be the first time. I'm really hoping one of my overseas viewers does not win. But I'm teasing. If you're in London or Bangladesh, I will still send this. That's how we roll here at Blue Box.
Canada.
But this full Keep on the Borderlands adapted for 5e, but you can use it for any game system. It is a fantastic book. We're going to give this away. Tell us why you should be Stream MVP. Oh, let me pop in the chat real quick in the Nightbot. And there we go. And we're going to call that Borderland. So exclamation point Borderland. And we'll do that singular. Now let's do plural, Borderlands. And I'll pop it in the chat for you. There we go. You got it, Mikey B. This is a super cool. Yes, Tracy, you're in. I see what y'all. There you go. I will. You're in. Yes, CJ. All right. Ratty, thank you again. A new follower that's in. And Pat and yeah, Thomas. Yeah, everybody to jump in. Thank you, Necromantic, Love Healer. All right, so all of you are in. Everyone else jump in. And as we go through this, let's talk about who should be Stream MVP. We're going to start tonight with. Let's do this in the Blue Box fashion. There are 5 of you. D10 divided by 2.
You didn't assign us numbers.
No, I'm sorry. I'm going on the order of my screen there. Yeah. All right. So 3. That's 6. That's 3. That's Terry. Why should you be stream MVP?
It's like Terry's book.
Taldar should be stream MVP because Taldar knocked the goblin off a cliff. And he talked to Rizia. And he rode a horse. And that's what Taldars do best.
All right.
Just if we were done talking.
It's true.
All right, Taldar, you're going to be rolling for Weaponized Eyes. Newer follower back from February and has had some luck lately as a sub as well. And Weaponized Eyes, are you still here? So that doesn't mean you've won, obviously. This is the roll-off we're going to do in a moment for Stream MVP. Each one of them will roll, but you got to be present to win. So Weaponized Eyes, please pop in the chat and let it... Yep, you're here. Awesome. All right, Rory.
Yes, I should be stream MVP because, I had some RP with Rasmus, and I let my shield down maybe a little bit, even though I don't carry a shield. Weird analogy for me. I also spoke with, I tried to be nice to a horse. I don't know how to ride horses. I also shot a goblin that allowed Taldar to be able to throw it off the cliff. And, just general RP and perhaps even providing Rasmus with some information about my background.
Nicely done. You will be rolling for... Tracy, I am the Bean. Congrats, Tracy. She's been a very active follower, came to us in September of last year and is going to be here with us at BlueBoxCon. Thank you so much for being with us, and you'll be rolling for her. Let's go to you, Rizia. Why should you be stream MVP?
Rizia should be stream MVP for Intimidating Gabo. Always consulting Alora on talking to trees and whether or not it is safe. Non-verbal and verbal communication with Taldar. Nods. Also whistling at Taldar to get his attention. Not in that way, but maybe. Just kidding. Being utterly confused when Alora was talking about the ecological damage of spiders, the death of all spiders, and promising to have this to revisit this conversation later. And also, despite with death looming, always has time for melons, So that's why. I mean, a girl's gonna die anyway, so she might as well enjoy her life while she can.
I've got to tell you, Vivi, from teeth to melons to the wayward bolts, you have introduced great content to all of our Greyhawk Awakening streams. Thank you so much. And you are going to be rolling for Renreb. Let's go, Renreb. Been following us for well over a year and a half. It'll be 2 years coming up this July. A constant contributor. Donate so much. I'm sure Renreb is on. Yep, he's there. All right, you got him. And let's go then. Last two. Josh, why should Rasmus be stream MVP?
I don't know. Rasmus should be stream MVP for being able to finish off a goblin, listen to or see what they had to share, and listen to them as needed. Writing, and then writing some more, and then inspecting Anaho's fine, slick, and well-endowed dagger. Let's see. I think probably, no offense to Anaho and anyone else, but I really loved the role play that was able to be had between Alora and Rasmus. Just like being able to share that little tidbit about himself and learn a little bit about Alora was amazing, delicious.
No, I love that. And I think that's been a signature of this roleplay party, which is sometimes there are quote-unquote party splits, but those party splits always result in great roleplay between different members of the party. So bravo, Alora and Rasmus killed it tonight. And Rasmus, you will be rolling for Old School FRP. Been with us for an Old School minute, October of 2020. Are you still here, Old School? A sub as well. Let us know. And while we're waiting for that, last but not least, Alora, why should you be Stream MVP?
Well, Allura should be Stream MVP for listening to a bush gossip about and for helping Anaho's horse not buck him off at the very beginning of the stream. Because Anaho set a bad first example with his horse. So, learning the importance of being kind to your animals. For naming the chicken that still rides in her
We
purse.
love Henrietta. She's so cute.
Yes.
And getting inspiration from her peck.
Yes. And then for the role play with Rasmus and that conversation that happened there, talking to the cranky tree, and advising Anaho not to tie his rope around the cranky tree because that probably would just make it crankier. And that's about it. Yeah, I think that's it.
No, well done. And you will be rolling for Toriano. Toriano, you're still with us, Biggie Paw? And Stream MVP is now up in the chat. They get 1,000 experience points. That means a lot to these players. They could level up based on that. Yes. All right. So everyone is in, and let's go through our roles. And let's start with you again, Terry.
Rolling for weaponized eyes. We're going to use my Ducky and my blue Cozy Gamer dice. So we'll start with Ducky. No, we'll start with blue. Blue rolls. Oh, a 3. That was not a good roll at all.
So can I?
Is always happy.
What do you have against weaponized eyes? Like, why would you roll like that?
That happens sometimes. A 14. A 14.
Okay.
Terrible,
Okay.
but,
14. That's nice. Okay. 14's got that. All right. Let's go to you, Rizia.
I have Run Rep. And a roll. Oh, that's a 2.
Golly.
And a 13.
So close. So weaponized still by 1. But please keep voting for Stream MVP. Let's go to you, Anaho.
Okay, I am the Bean, which is a sub, right?
Yeah, Tracy is a great sub.
I tried so hard, Tracy. I really, really tried. I got a 12.
I don't think she appreciates the just the effort. It's about accomplishment, not just effort.
John's out here tearing us all apart.
I rerolled. I got a 17 and a 19.
Did you really? On a second roll?
Yes, I did. Yes.
Oh, very sorry, Tracy. So close. All right, Dad. All right, let's go, Josh.
Okay, I am rolling for old school FRP, I think. FRP?
Yep.
Yes, FRP.
It's fantasy role player, by the way. Not yet.
Here we go. Come on. That is a 16.
Ooh!
But we've got to go up against Big Boss.
Yeah,
Evelyn.
And that was how the dice rolled too. I don't know how she keeps going last. It's like it's so intimidating for everyone, but she is going last again. Old school FRP, you are in the lead for this gorgeous Borderlands full tome. It's so good.
Biggie Paw.
All right, here we go, Toriano.
Come on, old school.
That's 2 16s.
Oh, old school has it! Congratulations,
No.
You got a 17, right?
The tie.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you had 17, Josh. It was 16? Oh, then we have a roll-off. All right, so I need you to pull your cameras to your dice, and we need to see these dice rolls. 1 die.
At a time.
Get your votes in. It's almost over.
Oh, I love that.
Okay, here we go.
It's so pretty.
Rizia wins again.
for the second week in a row.
Nice.
Guys.
All right.
Those are so sweet.
Are we going? Let us know.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, when you're ready, roll.
I've been rolling my whole life.
That's an 8.
That's an 18.
Ah!
course she rolls an 18.
So Toriano then has the win. Fantastic. I don't know. Again, Josh, golly, you were so close. Rizia is stream MVP once more. We already mentioned, but give her a hand. Well done, Rizia. So good tonight.
Thank you.
I really found the romance between Taldar and his horse to be one of the most compelling parts of tonight's stream, but clearly not everyone agreed with that. Everyone is up, got it all done. Yes, thank you so much. We're going to set up our raid, and as we prepare to raid, we will ask the question just one last time. We've only done it once tonight, so we can't go a stream without doing it twice. If you're watching tonight, and thank you, so we have so many new followers and watchers, but you have not followed, or if you're a follower who has not subscribed, you can use Amazon Prime. If you're an Amazon Prime member, you get a free Twitch sub. You don't have to pay anything. You can just use Blue Box. Now, you may not know this. I believe that Twitch sub expires, so you have to keep that pushed on Amazon Prime. Anyone else can correct me if I'm...
You have to renew the Amazon Prime subscription every month.
Right, so you got to renew it. So if you've Amazon Prime subbed us before and you think that's going to continue, it doesn't. You have to go in and sub again. Or if you're a sub whose sub has expired, as I mentioned, we have one question for you tonight. What are you doing? Thank you. Can you put her on camera, please? That would be the highlight of my night.
That was adorable.
Yeah, put her on camera, please. No, can you? No, you don't want. It's okay. It's all right. That was Esther. Esther is the best role player we have on our stream tonight. She was fantastic. We appreciate that, and we're going to raid.
Esther gets stream MVP.
Esther is
so cute.
She is always. Oh, that was the most adorable thing ever. I get like God. You don't have to put her on camera. I get that, but it's like every week you have to have her in the background to do that. That was just so cute. She is adorable. All right, here. Hang on. Create a dashboard and raid. All right. So reminder: tomorrow night we have Lore Master Arcanum. We'll be talking about the neutral nurture, which is the druid. We're going to have Vivi with us, and we're going to have Evelyn, of course, and both of them have played druids, and they were going to have all kinds of great commentary tomorrow night. We'll put up some World Dragon magazine articles as well. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to raid our friends at Careful Cantrip right now, and kicking that off. Beyond that, I want to say thank you to these players every week, so consistent. And I tease Terry, but we all have real life stuff that comes up. I've had to cancel streams. I've had stuff that we've all had that. But if I look back over now 75-ish episodes of Greyhawk Awakening, this has been one of the most consistent groups of players. They're every single week, and you will always notify me in advance, and we work together. And I'm very thankful for your consistency and the strength of your role play. So to all of you, I tip my hat, and to all of our viewers and players, I tip my hat, and we're going to raid Careful Cantrip. Let's all wave to our viewers in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, raiding now.
Ooh, intended for mature audiences.
Oh, yes.
Why are they all made
I kind of
this?
think we're going to have to put that on our stream here pretty soon.
Yeah, please.
Oh, Josh, that enter to put in the emojis is